It's opening day. The main event begins. My name is Ariel Helwani, and among many things, I am Canadian. I'm a proud Canadian who loves my country, my people, and our Blue Jays. Now, in my career, I've watched fighters get knocked down all the time, but the ones who stick out the most are the ones who get up, dust themselves off, and come back swinging. Let's be honest, it's good to be the favorite. It's easy to be the favorite, but the true measure of a winner is how they respond when their back is against the wall, when the going gets tough, when the doubts and the whispers get louder. For us, we know what we got. The backing of our nation is palpable. People from coast to coast love and support our Blue Jays. But we've read the tweets, we've heard from the naysayers, but guess what? None of that matters. For this is a fresh start. The start of a new journey, a new story. Because being a Blue Jays fan is more than just supporting a team. It's about supporting our country's team, the one and only. So here's a call to all the believers out there. Jump on the train right now. There's a few seats left. I am here, and I know millions across the country are as well. Okay, Blue Jays fans, the main event is about to start. It's opening day. Lights up. Let's go.
Gold glove for his play last year at both Jimenez and Santander out there. Both Jimenez and Santander out there accepting awards for very different reasons. It shows kind of the different things the Blue Jays added this offseason. They added a defender in Jimenez, a slugger in Santander, a starter in Max Scherzer, a closer in Jeff Hoffman as the fans get onto their feet for Dalton Varsho. They didn't necessarily just attack one area. They kind of went after all different facets of the team, and there were even more ads I haven't mentioned.
Right, and I know there's a lot of people that probably don't agree with me just because they didn't add the huge, big piece that everybody was hoping that they would add, but I love the addition of Anthony Santander. The Andres Jimenez addition was kind of flew under the radar. And then Jeff Hoffman, who is that steady piece at the back of the bullpen, Jimmy Garcia, Chad Green. This team has everything you need to be successful. I think it all hinges on the starting rotation. If the starting rotation can stay healthy and be as solid as they have been over the last couple of years, the sky's the limit for this Blue Jays team.
Are there certain guys in that rotation that you pinpoint maybe more than other guys when you're thinking about that, or is it just the five as a whole?
Well, I mean, obviously, the elephant in the room is Max Scherzer, right? If Max Scherzer can stay healthy, which he hasn't done over the last year and a half, he was questionable a lot over spring training. If he can stay healthy and be the 40-year-old guy that we expect him to be, I think that's a big addition. And then you have Bowden Francis. There's really an unknown, although he was great last year for 2 months of the season. We don't know if he's carrying that into this season. We hope he can. We saw in spring training flashes of that brilliance that we saw in July, August, and September of last year, but we don't know. And I think those are the two biggest factors when looking at that starting rotation.
You were talking about the rotation in terms of the goals that the team wants to reach. And by the way, again, we're here pregame. The first pitch likely to go at 3:37. For those sticking around, I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. We'll get to the lineups in a little bit as they announce them onto the field. We'll have that for you streaming right through from the public address. But you look at, the starting rotation as a key to contend. This division, I'm not going to argue with NL West fans whether this is the best division or not, because we don't have time for that. But there's no doubt that this is going to be the most competitive division, 1 through 5, in baseball. I think 5 teams in this division right now are going into it feeling like they can come out winning the division or at least making the playoffs. Do you like that for the Blue Jays? Would you rather a less competitive division? How do you feel about that overall?
Well, even before Garrett Cole and Luis Gil went down, I truly believed that this Blue Jays roster had enough to contend in the AL East. They could contend for a wild card spot, potentially even winning the division. But now that the Yankees have caught that injury bug, the Orioles have caught that same bug. I do feel like this Blue Jays team, if they play well, if they have some luck on their side in terms of health, I do think this team can win the AL East. Is it the best division in baseball? Probably not. The NL West is definitely my pick for the best division in baseball, but I do think that this roster is good enough to win the division.
The lighting, the ceremonies are starting to come to the point now where we're focusing on the baseball. The Orioles are walking out onto the field for their lineup announcement here as they introduce the starters. The Blue Jays will be introduced as well. So let's go over to the public address right now and hear who's going to be on the field for the Orioles.
Now the starting lineup for the Baltimore Orioles, managed by Brandon Hyde. Batting first, left fielder number 17, Colton Cowser. Currently warming up in the bullpen, catcher, batting second, number 35, Adley Rutschman. Batting third at second base, number 11, Jordan Westberg. Hitting fourth, the designated hitter, number 32, Ryan O'Hearn. Batting fifth, playing right field, number 9, Tyler O'Neill. Batting sixth, playing first base, number 6, Ryan Mountcastle. Batting seventh, center fielder, number 31, Cedric Mullins. Hitting eighth, at third base, number 29, Ramon Urias. Batting ninth, the shortstop, number 7, Jackson Holliday. In the bullpen, Orioles starting pitcher, right-hander number 24, Zach Eflin.
running. I feel the urgency, it's in abundance. I get that pressure to whoever want it. They see me going, but won't see me coming. It's a certain thing, this ain't tentatively. Yeah. So I guarantee they ain't ready for me. Ain't ready for me. No. Ready, 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 set, go. Ready, 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 go. Go. Ready, set, go. Now I'm in the zone. I'm in control. I'm on a roll. Ready, set, go. It's time to load. Let's go on the show. Are you ready? Hey, ready, set, go.
Now, please welcome your 2025 Toronto Blue Jays, along with support staff, training staff, and coaches. First, our Blue Jays support staff. Major League Director of Health and Performance, Andrew Pipkin. Head Athletic Trainer, Jose Ministral. Major League First Assistant Athletic Trainer, Boone Chong. Major League Physical Therapist, John Bigger. Major League Massage Therapist, Todd Earl. Interim Major League Dietitian, Yuka. Major League Strength and Conditioning Coach, Scott Weber. Major League Strength and Conditioning Coach, Scott Weber. Major League Assistant Strength and Conditioning Coach, Jeremy Track. Associate Manager, DeMarlo Hale. In the bullpen, pitching coach Pete Walker. Bench coach Don Mattingly. Third base coach Carlos Fables. First base coach Mark Budzinski. Assistant hitting coach Hunter Mintz. In the bullpen catcher Alex Andreopoulos. Also in the bullpen catcher Luis Hurtado. Hitting coach David Hopkins. Assistant hitting coach Lou Iannotti. In the bullpen coach Graham Johnson. Also in the bullpen, assistant pitching coach Sam Green. Outfielder number 3, Miles Straw. Outfielder number 5, Dalton Varsho. Pitcher number 23, Jeff Hoffman. Pitcher number 29, Yariel Rodriguez. Pitcher number 31, Max Scherzer. Pitcher number 34, Kevin Gossman. Outfielder number 36, David Schneider. Outfielder number 38, Nathan Lucas. Pitcher number 40, Chris Bassett. Pitcher number 44, Bowden Francis. Number 54, Brendan Little. Number 54, Brendan Little. Catcher, number 55, Tyler Heineman. Pitcher, number 57, Chad Green. Pitcher, number 58, Richard Lovelady. Pitcher, number 67, Jacob Barnes. Pitcher, number 93, Jimmy Garcia. And now, the starting lineup for your Toronto Blue Jays, managed by John Schneider. Batting first, the shortstop, number 11, Bo Bichette. Batting second, playing first base, number 27, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Batting third, the left fielder. Jimenez. Batting fifth, in the bullpen, catcher number 30, Alejandro Kirk. Batting sixth, the center fielder, number 4, George Springer. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, number 7, Will Wagner. Hitting eighth, playing third base, number 22, Ernie Clement. Batting ninth, right fielder, number 18, Alan Roden. And in the bullpen, your starting pitcher, right-hander number 17, Jose Barrios.
And that is your starting lineup for the Blue Jays and the Orioles for today's opener. We are close to action to start the 2025 season, but before we do that, let's send it back to the studio for his 2025 regular season debut. Here's our host, Show Ali.
Welcome back inside Baseball Control, everyone. Thank you very much, Ben and Chris. Always fun to be with you guys. I'm at our downtown Toronto studios. Game 1 of 162 is on its way in a matter of minutes, and I am thrilled to be with you during games for another season. As things continue down at the Dome, Ben Schulman and Chris Leroux, as we heard, are standing by. And before Jose Barrios steps to the mound in the top of the first inning, let's hear a little bit from Blair and Barker. The guys have the post-game show today. They are on their way down there right now. Yesterday on their show, they spoke to GM Ross Atkins about how the front office has shaped the team throughout this past offseason.
When we look at the organization this year, look at the starting rotation, a lot of veteran depth. The bullpen, I think both Kevin and I have been talking about. I'm really excited about the bullpen. I love the Jeff Hoffman signing for a variety of reasons. But I guess I'd ask you, from what you've seen in spring training, do you think you did enough to address I'm going to call them lineup issues in air quotes, especially as it relates to the cleanup hitter?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you always, building the perfect roster is a very difficult thing to do. I think, some is timing, some is circumstance, some is resources. We've been fortunate to have resources. The last year, in our view, in our opinion, the last 2 months of the season after the trade deadline, and it's not just the acquisitions of Will Wagner and others that have come into the fold and already had an impact, but the immersion, not necessarily immersion, but just a really productive year of players like Alan Roden and Josh Kashovich, and then coming into this year and having added Anthony Santander and Andres Jimenez to that fold, and having an incredible year that Vladdy has had, really excited about where Bo Bichette is right now, that we feel like we're going to have a very good offensive team. But we're never done. We'll always try to make that better in any way, whether that's internal or external. And internal could be deployment, improvement, development. It could also be from our system.
Speaking of Alan Roden, what did he show you to make this team?
Yeah, Kevin, it's been, I'm sure you were watching, I know you were, and it's been so fun to watch his career because he's made adjustments. He is extremely driven and extremely focused. Most players are. Like, usually once you get to this level, you don't have that focus. But some just have it at another level, and he's one of them, where you just don't have to worry about distractions. You don't have to worry about work ethic or routines, and even just handling failure if that comes. I think he's in just such a solid position to handle this because of what's under the hood, what he's done to get to this point. And then what we saw in spring training, everyone saw just the quality of his at-bats, the quality of every pitch that he was seeing, and really good results, a really good defender, really good base runner, and a good fit for us right now.
Ross, what were your impressions of George Springer at camp?
George has been, George is, he's such a talented force, and he remains that on our team. He has really connected well with David Popkins. It was great to see him yesterday have about 15 at-bats during live BP, just trying to find, the right groove and the right connection for him to get the right amount of force. And he is, I think, in a great spot mentally, and he's going to be a productive player for us. And we feel like there's more in there than what we saw last year. Obviously, we know that. From what's happened before, he still is a very good runner. He still has bat speed. He still has arm strength. And I believe that he's going to have a solid year.
Ross, I know that Max Scherzer threw his bullpen today. What, to your mind, how are you going to be approaching things? You, the front office, the coaching staff, the high performance department, how are you going to be approaching things with Max going forward, knowing that the thumb is going to be a concern at the least? And kind of the second part to that question, I think a lot of us were surprised when Ryan Yarbrough ended up leaving and ultimately signing with the Yankees. Can you maybe tell us a little bit what happened there? Because I think a lot of us thought the two were kind of maybe combined a little bit.
Yeah, well, with Scherzer, we're just fired up about the spring that he had, and he dominated every hitter that he faced. It was no contest for the most part, and whether it was on the minor league field or a major league game, it was really impressive to watch, and really good heater, command of all of his pitches, and this is such an impressive person to watch pitch. So that's a good starting point. We'll do everything we can to help him manage the thumb every day and just put him in the best possible position. If that means that there's going to be times where he needs to take a step back, then we feel like we're prepared to do that with Yariel Rodriguez in the fold, some other proven starters in our rotation, and then Jake Bloss and Easton Lucas and others coming into the mix later in the season in AAA. So having, as that relates to Yarbrough, just having two bulk relievers in a bullpen is very difficult to do and be effective. Not only is it difficult to keep them lengthened out, because that means they need to pitch 2 and 3 innings on some semi-regular basis to stay a length option for you, but then also just their deployment. So you can't have two guys who are only pitching in those scenarios. They need to be deployed in ways that's helping you win games otherwise.
Jeff was talking about the bullpen, how excited we were to see it. And the first name I think to come to mind is Jeff Hoffman. What do you think the biggest impact will be from him this year on the bullpen?
First of all, the stuff is ridiculous. I mean, it is very effective against right-handed and left-handed hitters. And that is a good starting point for someone at the back of a bullpen. The arsenal is unique in that he has several weapons to do it. And there's power with tons of swing and miss. So that's such a good starting point for someone at the back. But he's also just had an incredible presence in on our team, our clubhouse, and in that mix where he's got immediate trust from his teammates.
Everybody who has spent time around Bo this spring and has spent time around Bo throughout his career talks about just how different he is this year. I think John Schneider had a comment the other day. Bo mentioned, Bo in an interview talked about being kind of locked up mentally last year. John said he thought he might have been chasing hits, and everybody says he's just a different guy this year. You've seen this guy a lot, Ross. Tell me from your point of view how different Bo Bichette is in 2025 compared to 2024.
Yeah, I mean, Bo he's so driven and he's so dynamic. It's similar to the hitter that he is. He is extremely dynamic hitter. Not many do it the way he does it. And the way he's dynamic as a competitor is that he wants to leave no stone unturned and wants to be elite and wants to be the best. And when that doesn't happen, it's disappointing. It was difficult for him to go through. It was difficult for us to watch him go through it as we tried to help him and support him through the injuries and not being at the top of his game. And like any player, if you take his name off of it, when players are feeling good about where they are from a performance standpoint and their readiness to compete, their readiness to contribute at the highest levels, you feel that. You feel that in their energy. You feel that in the interactions, and that's with everyone. And he's just the confidence is very apparent. And similar to things that we talk about with other players, you can, when you know what's under the hood and you're seeing the work and the interactions that are going into it, and you see why and how the adjustments are happening, then you can double down on, you're experiencing that confidence, which gives it to others in the clubhouse.
Last question for us, and we'll let you run. Jose Barrios is getting the start tomorrow. It's funny. I look at Jose Barrios. He's so reliable. He's you can count on him. But every now and then I find myself wondering, is there more in there maybe in terms of strikeouts in particular? Ross, do you think there is? Because I keep looking at him and I keep thinking because he's such a good athlete. He's such a specimen, such a good guy, so studious, all that stuff. And I keep thinking, I don't understand why the strikeout rate could fall, from year to year with a guy like that.
Yeah, I do think that there are strikeouts in there. I think we can the starting point of having weapons and being durable and reliable is a good one. And it's on us as much as it's on him to help him find those pathways to more strikeouts with the weapons that he has. And that, I think it's going to come from the shape of his breaking pitches. And then, obviously you can be unique, you can be creative with deployment of fastballs and the shapes of fastballs in today's game. Immediately, as soon as it comes out of their hand almost, whether or not it's an effective pitch or not. So we're encouraged by the work this offseason. We're encouraged by how he's thinking about the shapes of his two breaking balls and a slider that has been an ad for him and a breaking ball that has been effective his whole career, that is back to a shape that we feel will be a little bit more dominant and produce more swing and miss.
That's Ross Atkins speaking with Blair and Barker. If you want the full conversation, you can catch it on the Blair and Barker podcast feed. B&B will be along after today's game, as they will be all season long. For Jays Talk, they will take your calls and texts once this game is in the books, and they will be down at the Rogers Center for today's game. By the way, Kevin Kiermaier getting a nice tribute video as he is now retired and, of course, a member of the coaching staff. He threw out the first pitch to Dalton Varsho, and then George Springer ran in with the two of them to do their patented jumping celebration there we had gotten used to seeing in center field. So a nice moment for KK, who, again, got to throw out the first pitch. All right, we're getting close to first pitch this afternoon, so let's take a break. And on the other side, Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue will bring you first pitch of the season opener. Game 1 of 162 begins in minutes. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Spring is here. We're all happy to see winter in our rearview mirror. But did you know that spring is a red zone for rust? The combination of leftover winter road salt, increased precipitation, and warmer weather are a perfect recipe for corrosion. Protect your vehicle from rust today by visiting your local Crown Rust Protection Center or book your appointment today at crown.com. For a special spring rust protection offer, visit your local Crown Rust Protection Center.
Toronto has a pulse, a vibe all its own. And on Friday nights, we turn it up. Enter night mode with us. Experience the energy, strength, and culture of our city. On Friday, March 28th, join us for the first City Connect Friday. The first 15,000 fans in attendance will get a Bo Bichette Laird City Connect replica jersey. City Connect Fridays, night mode. Lights up, let's go. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
Of all the things that Timber Mart can lend a hand to build, community ranks among the most important. And with the Timber Mart Local Leaders Initiative, we strive to recognize those dedicated to making their hometowns a better place to live, work, and play. From now to June 25th, you can vote to select our grand prize winner. They'll receive a $10,000 grant to support their outstanding initiative as Timber Mart's Local Leader of the Year. To vote, visit local-leaders.com. Timber Mart, Canada's building center.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connectsontario.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Out of here! Out of here! Davis Snyder wins it!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The pageantry is done, and we're getting set for baseball here at Rogers Center. Thank you so much for sticking with us, or if you're just joining us, appreciate you tuning in today to the 2025 season opener, first opening day in Toronto since 2022. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Show Ali, our host and producer today. Blair and Barker will follow the game with Jays Talk coming up after the game. Derek Brandeo, Tom Young, Stephen Coyle, our technical directors today. Appreciate everyone helping out on today's broadcast. Chris, we are getting set for actual baseball coming up here in a little bit after awards and lineups and anthems and everything else. So who is in the lineup today, starting with the visiting Baltimore Orioles?
Well, for those Baltimore Orioles, leading off is Colton Cowser. He'll be in left field today. Batting second behind the plate is Adley Rutschman. Batting third is Jordan Westberg. He'll be at second base today. DHing and cleaning up is Ryan O'Hearn. Batting fifth is Canadian Tyler O'Neill. He'll be in right field for the Orioles. Batting sixth is Ryan Mountcastle. He'll be at first base. Batting seventh, playing center field, is Cedric Mullins. Batting eighth is Ramon Urias. He'll be at third base. And at shortstop, batting ninth, is Jackson Holliday. On the mound for the Orioles is righty Zach Eflin. For the Toronto Blue Jays, leading off is Bo Bichette. He'll be at shortstop. Batting second is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He'll play first base this afternoon. Batting third is Anthony Santander. He'll be in left field. Cleaning up is Andres Jimenez. He's at second base. Behind the dish is Alejandro Kirk. He'll hit fifth. Hitting sixth is George Springer. He'll be in center field. DHing is Will Wagner. He'll hit seventh. Batting eighth is Ernie Clement. He'll be at third base. And batting ninth, making his major league debut, is Alan Roden. He'll be in right field. On the mound is righty Jose Barrios.
We will get to Barrios, Eflin, and more of the guys in a moment, but we want to thank Bet365 for returning this season for the Bet365 standings update. Download the Bet365 app for today's baseball odds and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19 plus, play responsibly, Ontario only. Now, Chris, there are no standings today. Everyone other than the Dodgers and the Cubs are 0-0, with the Dodgers 2-0 and the Cubs 0-2. But a reminder that last season, the Baltimore Orioles finished 91-71, good for the top wild card spot, second in the AL East, 3 games back of the Yankees. The Blue Jays were 74-88, 20 games back of the division, and 12 of the wild card. The positive standings news for the Blue Jays: they won 18 games in Grapefruit League action. Their first place finish in the meaningless spring circuit since 2012. Blue Jays charge out onto the diamond in the home whites today with blue caps. The Orioles will wear black jerseys, orange font, gray pants, and have black-orange helmets, black top, orange brim. And we get to see Jose Barrios making his third opening day start as a Blue Jay, fifth in his career. He ties Jimmy Key for the third most opening day starts in a Blue Jay uniform. Only one more than him, Dave Stieb, with 4. Roy Halladay has 7. And Jose Barrios, as steady as they come, part of the reason he gets today's nod.
Yeah, the cool thing about Jose Barrios is he doesn't take this opening day start for granted. You mentioned this is his 5th opening day start in his career. I'm assuming that some guys kind of take that for granted. Jose Barrios relishes these opportunities. He relishes the fact that he's standing out on that mound for game number 1. But he was the ace of this rotation last year, 16-11 with a 3.60 ERA. And he was even better than that for the majority of the season. He just had a rough couple of starts that really inflated that ERA. But Jose Barrios is as steady as they come, 32 starts last year.
He made the opening day start last year in a bit of deja vu against Zach Eflin. Now, it was Tampa Bay Rays Zach Eflin, and it was at Tropicana Field, but he was fantastic that day. After giving up a leadoff home run to Yandy Diaz, he went 6 innings, allowed only 2 runs, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts for Barrios. You're going to see a 4-seam fastball and a sinker that are low to mid 90s. He's cut the ball a little bit in spring. Again, he didn't use the cutter that much last year. We'll see if it's more of a factor this year. He's got the big slurve, which might be his patented pitch, and then he has a changeup as well that he'll often throw to left-handed hitters. So he's got a lot of weapons to keep you off balance. First batter he'll face is Colton Cowser, left-handed hitting left fielder for the Orioles, who's standing just outside the batter's box as there's a buzz here in a jam-packed Rogers Center. Roof closed today, but Took's still on the fans as we get ready for the first pitch of 2025. Barrios digs his right heel into the first base side of the rubber, presses his glove into his left thigh, and comes set now at the belt. A look to home plate. The right-hander kicks and delivers home, and the first pitch of the year is outside, ball 1. Time of the first pitch today, 3:39 Eastern. Roof closed at Rogers Center. is 1-0. Cowser swings and misses at a sinker driven below the zone, 1-1. Cowser, 25-year-old left-handed hitter from Houston, Texas, 5th overall pick by the Orioles in 2021. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Pulled the string a little bit with the changeup right after the sinker to get ahead.
That's about as good as it gets right there with that changeup. It looked like a strike right down the middle. You could tell from that swing from Colton Cowser that was a good one.
Cowser asked for time, now steps back in, points his bat up toward the sky and wheels it around above his left shoulder. Barrios is 1-2. Just outside. Home plate ump today is Lance Barksdale. He's also the crew chief. He took a step back like he was going to ring him up. Decided not to. It's Will Little at first, Ryan Additon at second, and Ryan Wills at third. Barrios rocks and deals. Just a little bit low. If we still had those ABS challenges, Chris, I think Colton Cowser would be sitting down right now, and Pete Walker's upset for the first time in 2025. It's 3-2.
Well, not only was that a strike, that was 96 miles an hour from Jose Barrios.
His payoff pitch. Foul tipped into the glove. Strike 3. First out of the season for the Blue Jays is a punch out, and there's one down.
And how about that? That shows you the confidence that Jose Barrios has in that changeup. A 3-2 changeup to Colton Cowser. You don't really see that often from Jose Barrios, but obviously he's figured out the feeling on that changeup.
It'll be important again as another batter comes from the left side. It's switch hitter Adley Rutschman, today's catcher. The pitch. High and outside with the fastball. Big miss for ball one. Rutschman, the first overall selection in the 2019 draft out of Oregon State after winning the national title with the Beavers in 2018. 1-0. Just outside, 2 balls, no strikes.
Ben, I have to tell you that my first opening day in 2012 was at PNC in Pittsburgh, and it was snowing. So be grateful that the Rogers Center has a roof.
Retractable roof is the best thing in baseball. We're looking at the original retractable roof still in a heavily renovated Rogers Center. The 2-0. Hit foul back there. It's 2-1.
Another really good sinker there from Jose Barrios. A lot of downward action on it. An uncomfortable swing from Adley Rutschman.
A little bit of roll call going on at Rogers Center right now. They're just chanting for Santander, waiting for his recognition. Vladdy just gave his from first. Now the 2-1 pitch to Rutschman is powered deep right field. Rodin back at the warning track. That one is way gone over the right field bullpen, and the first run for the Orioles this year is a moonshot blast from Adley Rutschman. 1-0 Baltimore in the first.
Well, he threw 2 very good changeups to Colton Cowser in that first at-bat, but that changeup right there, it was almost like Adley Rutschman was waiting for it. It was middle, and when you leave a changeup over the middle like that, most big league hitters are going to hammer it, and Rutschman did right there.
About 436 feet off the bat for Rutschman, a guy who homered 19 times last year. Gets his first this year, and the Orioles have first blood. Right-handed hitter Jordan Westberg up, the second baseman. Barrios' pitch. Fastball down and away, ball 1. Still looking for the command of that fastball is Barrios.
Yeah, that's kind of why he's relying on the changeup so early in this ball game. Doesn't quite have the feel for that sinker, but he does have the feel for that changeup.
The 1-0. Fastball in there, strike 1.
And it's also really tough to command that sinker that Jose Barrios has because there is so much movement on it.
Barrios set, looks to the plate. Kicks and releases. Soft line drive, hit right side. It's going to get over the infield and down in right field for a weak single. Only 76 miles an hour off the bat, but Westbrook put it in a place that no one was, and he's aboard with 1 out.
Yeah, not a bad pitch from Jose Barrios. A slurve down and away out of the strike zone, but Westbrook was able to just get a piece of it and kind of loop it over Andres Jimenez at second base.
Wouldn't be shocked if that bat died on that swing.
Yeah.
That hit right off the end of the barrel. Back-to-back hits for the Orioles, who lead 1-0 with one out and a runner on first. Top of the first. Here's Ryan O'Hearn. Right on left pitch. Fastball at the knees, strike one.
Now would be a great time to throw that changeup down out of the strike zone, get O'Hearn to roll over and hit into a double play here.
O'Hearn, the DH today for the Orioles. 0-1. Hit to short, caught on the line by Bichette. Runner off first, throwback. It's a double play. Westberg was way too far off the bag, and Bichette catches the liner, options to the bag, and gets a 6-3 double play to end the inning. The Orioles do strike, though. The Rutschman homer makes it 1-0 Baltimore, middle of the first. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Timber Mart is Canada's building center, a solid neighbor to call upon when you've got a job to do. Your dependable home improvement store that offers the added value of Air Miles reward miles with every purchase of $15 or more. For our participating location, visit timbermart.ca.
Talent is just the beginning.
Laddie launches one.
Strength alone is not enough.
He's one of the best hitters in baseball.
Skills are not given. They are honed, forged.
Guerrero Jr. is ridiculously hot.
Relentlessly refining. More than a hitter, a master of his craft. A silver slugger. On Monday, March 31st, the first 15,000 fans will get a Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Silver Slugger bobblehead. Find your seat at BlueJays.com. Lights up. Let's go.
Timber Mart always has plans to help you with your plans. Your home, your cottage, your garage, whatever needs your attention first, check the most visited spot on our website for ready-to-order plans to get the job done with Canada's Building Center. Visit timbermart.ca.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connectsontario.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Swing and a miss, strike three. He gets Verdugo for his 7th strikeout.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Bottom of the first of the season opener. 1-0 Orioles. Zach Eflin deals home to Bo Bichette and hits the bottom of the zone with a fastball for strike one. Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Adley Rutschman's home run, the difference so far. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Bichette unloaded on that breaking ball, but missed the sweeper to make it 0-2.
Yeah, he saw that hanging sweeper from Eflin. He wanted to hit that thing to the moon, and fortunately for the Orioles, he just missed it.
Bichette will ask for time and then settle back into the back edge of the box. Taps the plate twice with his black bat and brings it above his right shoulder. The 0-2. Chopped foul. This first inning is brought to you by Armstrong Bird Food. Armstrong Bird Food, the reason birds fly north. Feeding Blue Jays since 1986. Visit ArmstrongBirdFood.com. Great to have Armstrong Bird Food back with us in 2025. 0-2. Bounced and a sliding block to the right by Rutschman. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bichette, Guerrero, Santander for the Blue Jays in the bottom of the first. 1-2 to Bichette. Swing and a line drive. Headed to right field. O'Neill coming in, makes a knee-high catch to his left. First play for the new Orioles right fielder, 1 out.
That's a good sign for the Blue Jays, though. When Bo Bichette is going well, he'll take those cutters on the outside part of the plate and hammer them the other way. He just missed a base hit there.
It's first out of the year as well for Zach Eflin, who's coming off a nice season, 10-9 with a 3.59 ERA in over 165 innings. He deals to Vlad Guerrero Jr. and punches the bottom of the zone with a fastball. Strike one.
There's a ton of movement on that sinker from Zach Eflin. He's a true sinker ball pitcher. Not a big strikeout guy, but he'll get a ton of ground outs.
Next pitch, swing and a miss. Got him to lean forward on the breaking ball and get out in front. It's 0-2. Sinker, cutter, curve, sweeper, four-seam, and change for Eflin. But it's a lot of sinker cutter. His 0-2. Bounce to breaking ball again. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Good take from Vlad. A lot of the time early last season, Vlad would offer at that slider away, that breaking ball away off the plate. That was a good take right there.
1 out and the base is empty. 1-0 Orioles. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Hanging breaking ball, and Vlad just missed it. 2 down.
Yeah, that's a tough pitch. It's always tough when you get those backup breaking balls. You're expecting it to break larger and more than it did, and it kind of tied up Vladimir Guerrero Jr. You can see he was eyeballing that thing, ready for that thing to break, and it just never did.
Now pivoting around, digging into the batter's box is one of the newest Blue Jays, Anthony Santander, the switch hitter and former Oriole, bats left. The pitch. Inside, ball 1.
I wonder what he feels like right now. The Blue Jays did play the Orioles in spring training, so maybe he got those butterflies out of the way. Obviously, the regular season is different than spring training.
1-0 pitch called strike 1-1.
I'm sure there's some excitement there.
Yeah, he had mentioned at least at the prospect of playing them in spring that he was excited to play them. He has a lot of love for the Orioles. That's where his career got going. 1-1. Inside 2-1, and where his career has been up until now. A Rule 5 pick from Cleveland in 2017. But at the same time, he decided to walk over to a division rival in the Toronto Blue Jays. Eflin winds and offers. Just hits the inside edge to make it 2-2. Santander coming off a 44 homer, 102 RBI season. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a high pop-up, middle of the infield. Everyone converging. It's the third baseman, Urias, who makes the catch and ends the inning. Blue Jays go down in order and trail 1-0 after an inning. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
If there's anything we Canadians are proud of, is we support each other. And Access Storage knows this because we're truly Canadian, and your support has made us Canada's leader in storage solutions. Proudly serving our communities for more than 25 years. Thank you. And if you haven't tried us yet and need extra space, try 4 weeks free now. So drop that hockey stick, finish that poutine, throw on that toque, and celebrate the True North Strongin' 4 weeks free. Details at accessstorage.ca. Shop Canadian, store Canadian.
Well, let's start the bidding off with 1,200. Do I have 1,200? 1,200 over here.
Don't miss North Toronto Auction's public auction this Friday and Saturday. On Friday, bid on ATVs, travel trailers, snowmobiles, and more. Then on Saturday, cars, trucks, SUVs, commercial and industrial equipment are up for auction.
1,700 going once.
Bid in person or online and preview the entire lineup Tuesday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Complimentary breakfast or lunch for all early bird registrants. It's the most exciting way to buy a vehicle. Visit NorthTorontoAuction.com.
So.
A radio ad right in the middle of your karaoke. Yeah, this is uncomfortable. But you know what's ironic? It's only to tell you about Leon's Comfort Sale. Get 50% off select sofas and sectionals like the Verismo leather sofa, only $7.99. Or 50% off select mattresses. Plus, get amazing offers on financing. See, I told you I'd make things comfortable again. Okay, let's take it from the top. Duet, Leon's. Now that's comfortable. Visit leons.ca today.
Hola, soy Andrés Jiménez y estás escuchando el béisbol de los Toronto Blue Jays en la cadena de Radio Sportsnet.
Welcome back to Rogers Center for the 2025 opener. Top of the second inning, Orioles.
We got opening day. This is exciting, man. We're finally back. Opening day. Hopefully we get a win. Feeling good, really excited, and pumped up to get out there.
Pitch fastball low, 1-0. O'Neill told me today about
this is the real deal. This stuff matters. It counts, and those fans are going to be rocking. So we're fired up, man. We can't wait to get going. This is the real deal.
It's opening day. It's always a good day.
But a big day to be opening up in his home.
Come on. It's opening day. Let's go. Come on. You have any more questions?
2-0 pitch.
No more questions?
Check swing, appeal down to third. He didn't go, says Will Little. It's 3 balls, no strikes.
Yeah, I think one of the most important things to remember for guys from out west, guys that aren't from Ontario or the Toronto area, these games are on in British Columbia. These games are on TV 3,000 kilometers away or however far it is.
3-0. Fastball hits the inner third, top of the zone, strike 1.
So even though Tyler's not from Toronto, there's still that same excitement that his family and friends can actually watch the ball game on Sportsnet.
The 3-1 to O'Neill. Swing and a grounder foul, third base side into the camera well. 3-2.
And he is also one of the proudest Canadians I know, and you know as well. He is incredibly proud to be from Canada.
Has shown that representing Canada pretty much as he can. Played for them in the last World Baseball Classic, and now he's standing in the righty batter's box at Rogers Center facing a full count. The 3-2. Low ball 4, just missed the zone with a front door slurve, and O'Neill will take a leadoff walk.
I was talking to Tyler before the game, and I just found out that he lives in Seattle now. I'm pretty sure the reason for that is because there's no state income tax. I'm almost positive Washington doesn't have state income tax.
You'd know better than I would.
It's a good reason to live there, though.
O'Neill leads off first base. Nobody out. 1-0 Orioles, top of the second. And Ryan Mountcastle is up at the plate. The pitch. Called strike. Mountcastle, a .271 hitter last year, 30 doubles, 13 homers, and 63 RBIs in 124 games. Had a very nice spring. His 5 home runs led the Orioles. 0-1. Line drive sent down the left field line. That's a fair ball bouncing up onto the warning track and against the wall. Around to third goes O'Neill. Mountcastle into second with a stand-up double. He hurts the Blue Jays again. It's second and third with nobody out.
Yeah, Barrios just left that sinker right over the middle. It started on the outside part of the plate and sunk right back over the middle. Ryan Mountcastle hammered that thing over the head of Ernie Clement at third base for a double.
Third Orioles hit so far. Second ball hit real hard. That one 116 miles off the bat of Ryan Mountcastle. And now the corners will come in with the infield staying back for Cedric Mullins. Second and third, nobody out. Barrios peaks at second and third and deals home. Backdoor slurve hits the zone, strike 1.
And this is where a strikeout is really important. You're already ahead in the count. Now you don't want to give Cedric Mullins something he can drive or something he can hit on the ground. You don't want that guy at third base just trotting home.
The 0-1. Chopper hit to first. Leaping snag by Guerrero. Flips back to Barrios. And the cover not in time. And sneaking to the plate is O'Neill to score a run. That play started out so well for the Blue Jays, but ended poorly. Vladdy had to jump up to corral it. Barrios was late to cover. O'Neill wisely didn't break right away, and then as soon as Guerrero turned to first, he went home, and Mountcastle went to third. And that's going to be an infield single for Cedric Mullins, and an RBI. It's 2-0 Orioles with runners on the corners now and still nobody out.
That is a really, really tough play right there. Tyler O'Neill kind of faked out Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And once Vladimir Guerrero Jr. looked towards home plate, that was it. Cedric Mullins is too fast to first base. He beats Jose Barrios. And now the Orioles have a 2-0 lead.
The main concern right now for the Blue Jays, don't make it much more than that. Early in this ball game, the Orioles with the 2-0 advantage. And with Mountcastle on third and Mullins on first, still nobody out. Ramon Urias, right-handed hitting infielder, playing third base today, up to the plate. Barrios kicks and fires. Mullins off from first base. Pitches a ball. Throw down to second. He got him. First of probably many for Alejandro Kirk this year, coming off a great year last year throwing the ball. He cuts down Mullins. Orioles looked at it for about a second before realizing he easily got it.
Well, that is a huge play for the Blue Jays. I've been watching Alejandro during the game between innings throw down to second base, and I was thinking to myself, each of the two throws that he made, man, that is a hose. And he showed right there that he does really have a hose. That's a different arm than I saw last year from him.
Now the infield will come in with 1 out and a runner on third. 2-0 Orioles. And the pitch to Urias is lined foul. So it's 1-1.
Big pitch coming up right here for Jose Barrios. It's a big run at third base. That's the third run of the ball game early here for the Baltimore Orioles. Jose Barrios has to make a good pitch. The infield is in, so you don't want Urias driving something here. You want to strike him out. This is a big at bat.
Urias appeared in 100 games last year, drove in 37 runs. He was a mid-250s hitter. Open stance for the righty swinger. And the 1-1. Bounce to the plate, run-saving block by Kirk, 2-1.
And you can tell what they're trying to do. Jose Barrios didn't want to throw that slurve anywhere near the strike zone. He was trying to entice Urias to swing at it, but Urias with the good take.
Urias taps the plate with Jackson Holliday looming on deck. Barrios on the mound, and his 2-1 pitch to Ramon Urias. Check swing on a pitch low. Appeal down to third. He didn't go. 3-1. Appeal down to first, rather.
I think if I'm Jose Barrios here, I would much rather throw Urias a tough pitch, let him take it or swing through it. We'll see. But then face Jackson Holliday with a runner on first, potential for a double play, then give Urias a cookie here in a 3-1 count.
Ryan Mountcastle on third with 1 out. 2-0 Orioles, top of the second. The 3-1. Swing and a lazy fly ball, shallow center field. Andres Jimenez, the second baseman, goes out onto the outfield turf to make the catch. Mountcastle has to stay at third, and that's a big out for Barrios. 2 down.
Yeah, and he did exactly what he should have done. He threw that cutter just off the plate outside. Urias he thought it was a fastball, a hittable fastball, and it cut away from the barrel. A perfect pitch for Jose Barrios. Now you have 2 outs in this inning.
It's the top of the second inning, which is presented by Bet365. At Bet365, you can watch thousands of live games, build your own bet, and can even make a bet while the game's still being played. 19 plus, play responsibly, Ontario only. Only recently 19 plus is Jackson Holliday, 21-year-old left-handed hitting shortstop, who steps up to the plate with 2 down and a runner on third. Ernie Clement in at third. Holliday's been bunting a lot in spring, and the pitch. Fastball starts him off with strike 1. Number 1 overall pick in 2022 was Jackson Holliday. The 0-1. Swing and a foul back, and Barrios ahead of him. No balls, 2 strikes.
And now you absolutely do not throw anything hittable to Jackson Holliday. Jackson Holliday has shown that he can get himself out. He swings at pitches out of the strike zone early in his career. So Jose Barrios either needs to throw that fastball up and out of the zone or bounce one.
69 strikeouts for Holliday in 60 games in his debut season. The 0-2. Chopped foul behind home plate, and they'll do it again.
Not down enough. That slurve was just out of the strike zone. You need to get that thing in the dirt. Let Alejandro Kirk block it. You could see with that swing that Jackson Holliday is ready to swing at something. He's just barely making contact with that slurve out of the strike zone.
Barrios set, looks at third, now to the plate. His 2-strike offering. Fastball, got him, strike 3 looking. The Orioles get 1 in the top of the second, but it could have been a whole lot more if not for Alejandro Kirk and the fortitude of Jose Barrios. It's 2-0 Baltimore, middle of the second, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center.
Spring is here. We're all happy to see winter in our rearview mirror. But did you know that spring is a red zone for rust? The combination of leftover winter road salt, increased precipitation, and warmer weather are a perfect recipe for corrosion. Protect your vehicle from rust today by visiting your local Crown Rust Protection Center or book your appointment today at crown.com. For a special spring rust protection offer, visit your local Crown Rust Protection Center.
Here at Home Hardware's Bring Beauty Tone Home Reno sale, everyone's saving on everything they need to tackle their reno project. Like bringing their living room into this century with 25% off Canadian-made Beauty Tone Pure Interior and Specialty Paint. Or tackling that bathroom reno with up to $200 off Max shower units. That's better. Earn and redeem Scene Plus points during the Bring Beauty Tone Home Reno sale. On now at Home Hardware and Building Centers.
Enter night mode.
It's a stylish Friday night in the city.
Every Friday home game.
No doubter.
Where we celebrate everything that makes our city one of a kind.
Anything to catch.
Would you always feel like part of the show? On Friday, April 18th, be at the ballpark early and get your Blue Jays City Connect Bomber Jacket giveaway presented by Enercare. The first 50,000 fans will be geared up for spring nights in the city. City Connect Fridays. Night mode. Lights up. Let's go. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Kirk smacks it down the left field line. This one's got a chance. It's gone!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Bottom of the second inning, 2-0 Orioles. Andres Jimenez leading off against Zach Eflin, and the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses low, apparently, for ball one. Pretty good pitch by Eflin. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Orioles with one run in each of their first two trips to the plate. The 1-0. Jimenez takes a strike. Tough offensive year last year for Andres Jimenez. 252 with a mid-600s OPS. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Chased the changeup away, 1-2. But a guy that only a couple years ago was not a glove first guy. He was a complete player, had a great season offensively in 22. Was about league average in 23. It was last year where the bottom really fell out.
Yeah, and that's really what Ross Atkins is betting on, that he's going to be or turn back into the player that he was in 22.
1-2. In the dirt, Jimenez bends the knee to take it. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
A lot like Bo Bichette, obviously not the same skill set. Bo Bichette is an elite bat, and he has shown that. But I think that Andres Jimenez really can turn into that guy, or at least a semblance of the guy that he was early.
2-2 pitch is shot down the left field line, foul deep into the seats. Nice catch on the fly, bare left-handed snag by a fan in a gray sweatshirt, I think. It's still 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jimenez, a left-handed hitter. The 2-2. Swing and a fly ball left field. Freezes Cowser. Now backpedaling, he makes the catch. 1 out. Friday Night Baseball is back at Rogers Center. Be one of the first 15,000 fans at the ballpark tomorrow to receive a Bo Bichette layered City Connect replica jersey. This night mode giveaway is one you won't want to miss. Visit BlueJays.com/promotions and grab your tickets today. One out, nobody on. Alejandro Kirk up. First pitch is low, ball 1.
I don't know if you noticed this, but Aaron Loop made the Alejandro Kirk highlight reel before he comes to the plate.
Oh, it's tough for Aaron Loop, a good Blue Jay. Yeah. The 1-0. Swing and a soft roller to third. Charging in Urias. Throw on the run gets Kirk. Urias, a Gold Glover a couple years ago with the hot corner on a tough play there. Gets the second out.
Yeah, that was a really nice play. You could tell the crowd was really into it. They see Alejandro Kirk chugging down that first base line, but Urias with a great play to short hop that slow roller.
Urias was the 2022 Gold Glover at third. Now George Springer up. 2 outs and the bases empty. The pitch. Hit foul off to the right, 0-1. 5 up, 5 down so far for Zach Eflin. Second year in a row he starts opening day against the Toronto Blue Jays. The 0-1. Hit foul again to the right. It's 0-2. Springer, today's center fielder, faces an 0-2 and takes it in the dirt, ball one.
Good take. Not a bad curveball from Zach Eflin. One of his best pitches, 79 miles an hour. Looked like a strike and then kind of just dropped off the table. George Springer just spits on it.
Eflin's next offering is down and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Eflin is the de facto ace of this Orioles staff. It's probably up in the air before the season when Grayson Rodriguez was in the mix, but with Rodriguez injured, Eflin's the clear number 1. 2-2. Late swing, and he hits it foul to stay alive. Just behind him and into the seats. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I personally don't see Zach Eflin as a number 1, but the Baltimore Orioles are a little bit thin right now at the moment.
Let's say investing more in the hitting side. 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. He's pitching like an ace right now. 6 up, 6 down for Eflin. A pair of strikeouts after getting Springer, and the Orioles take a 2-0 lead to the third. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Timber Mart is Canada's building center. Your home team advantage with the right materials and the right price. Project know-how that's brought together a wealth of plans and solid advice. Trust your team at your locally owned Timber Mart. Find your location at timbermart.ca.
Spring is here. We're all happy to see winter in our rearview mirror. But did you know that spring is a red zone for rust? The combination of leftover winter road salt, increased precipitation, and warmer weather are a perfect recipe for corrosion. Protect your vehicle from rust today by visiting your local Crown Rust Protection Center or book your appointment today at crown.com. For a special spring rust protection offer, visit your local Crown Rust Protection Center.
Timber Mart is Canada's building center, a solid neighbor to call upon when you've got a job to do. Your dependable home improvement store that offers the added value of Air Miles reward miles with every purchase of $15 or more. For our participating location, visit timbermart.ca.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connectsontario.ca. This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Whitey rocks the ball to left field. The Blue Jays have gone back-to-back.
Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The third inning is brought to you by the local family-owned Crown Rust Control Centers on St. Clair and on Laird Avenue in Toronto. Crown is proud to be Canadian-owned and operated since 1986, so protect your vehicle from rust today at your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center or visit crown.com. Crown, Canada's #1 rust protection. First pitch strike delivered to Colton Cowser by Jose Barrios. Back at Rogers Center, it's 2-0 Orioles, top of the third. Barrios kicks and fires and misses inside, 1-1. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Show Ali, our host and producer today. Derek Brandeo, Tom Young, Stephen Coyle, Brandon Brown, our technical directors. The 1-1. High and outside, 2-1. That was a cutter from Barrios. And whichever fastball it's been for him so far, he just hasn't quite been on top of the location, and it's hurt him to the tune of 2 runs in 2 innings. Righty's pitch. Breaking ball low, 3-1.
Yeah, even that last fastball in the top of the second inning to Jackson Holliday, he was trying to come up and in, but he missed in. Luckily for him, it was a strikeout, strike 3, but he still missed his spot, even on that last strikeout.
The 3-1. Called strike 3-2.
Let's get that ABS. That wasn't a strike.
Cowser looked like he was headed for ball 4. Now he's headed back to the plate, although he'll ask for time as Barrios gets a new baseball. It's Cowser, Rutschman, Westberg, top third of the Orioles order up this inning as Barrios goes second time through. Faced Cowser in this same count, 3-2 in the first, and he got him on a changeup. Another 3-2 pitch. Outside with a fastball, ball 4. Second walk issued by Barrios today.
Jose Barrios just clearly doesn't have the feel for that fastball yet in this ball game. You could see the frustration. He slammed his bare hand into his glove, trying to find it. I think the more changeups you throw, the more slurves he throws, eventually he's going to find that release point with the fastball.
He'll have to find it quick, though, with Adley Rutschman up to the plate, who homered in the first inning to start the scoring. Barrios' pitch. Fastball right down the middle, strike 1.
That was a good one right there. Took a little bit off of it. That one was 93. He's been sitting 94 to 96 so far in this ball game.
Maybe a little extra adrenaline, even though it's his 5th opening day start. First one at home since 22. The 0-1. Pitch was high. Kirk thought about a snap throw to first, but fumbled with it on the transfer. Dive back into first base by Cowser. Mentioned, though, the Rutschman homer. This has been a tough matchup for Barrios in his career. Rutschman now 14 for 23 against Barrios. 2 doubles and 4 home runs. Turn and lob over to first. Barrios just looking to reset the clock.
But as we mentioned in Rutschman's last at-bat, that changeup was thigh-high, right down the middle, kind of just floated in, almost on a tee for him. Most big league hitters are going to hammer that thing.
The 1-1. Swing and a miss. He tried to tee off on a fastball down the middle. It was a cutter, and it's 1-2.
And that wasn't a good location. Again, that was middle with that cutter. Adley Rutschman was just out in front of it, just missed it. Like you said, a huge swing.
It almost just worked as a changeup because it didn't break that much, but was slower than the four-seamer. He is ahead of Rutschman. Switch hitter batting from the left side. Runner on first, nobody out. The 1-2. Swing and a soft liner over the head of Clement at third and down in left field for a base hit. Fielded on 2 bounces by Anthony Santander. Up to second goes Cowser. It's a single for Adley Rutschman.
Again, Jose Barrios just missed his spot. You could see Alejandro Kirk set up and in for that cutter. Is a good spot for a cutter up and in to a left-handed hitter, but he just left that thing spinning right over the middle. And Adley Rutschman is so good at using the whole field. He kind of just fillets that thing into left field.
So more traffic for Barrios, who's had base runners in all 3 innings, looking for his first scoreless frame of this season. It's first and second. There's nobody out, and Jordan Westberg is up. Westberg looped a single into right field in the first. A look at second, and the pitch home. Called strike on the inside edge, 0-1.
Good time for a ground ball to shortstop right now.
Absolutely. Bichette is playing pretty deep to the pull side, pulled towards third base and almost on the outfield turf. Jimenez, the second baseman, up the middle. 0-1 pitch gets a swing and a miss, and it's 0-2.
And now you want to strike out. You throw something out of the zone, let Jordan Westberg swing through it. Fastball up, out of the zone, neck high, or something down, bounce. Let Alejandro Kirk be a wall back there.
Right on right matchup. Here's the 0-2. Called strike 3. Got him on a changeup on the bottom inside corner, and Barrios with his 3rd strikeout already.
That is a tough pitch right there. An 0-2 changeup. You really don't see many 0-2 right on right changeups. I like that pitch. Out of the zone. Didn't look like a strike to me, but luckily for the Blue Jays, it was called strike 3, and they have 1 out now.
It's part of why you give Alejandro Kirk a 5-year extension as he rips that one back up into the zone. There's 1 out, and Ryan O'Hearn's at the plate, left-handed hitting DH. First and second for the Orioles. Barrios kicks and delivers. And starts O'Hearn off with a strike, 0-1. O'Hearn, a longtime Royal, now in his 3rd season with the Baltimore Orioles. The 0-1. Swing and a pop-up back of third, foul territory. Long run for Ernie Clement onto the side warning track. He makes the catch. Runners have to hold at first and second, respectively. 2 down.
Big pitch for Jose Barrios. He tied up O'Hearn right there with a slurve down and in. You could tell that O'Hearn was set up for a fastball, really geared up for something. And then Jose Barrios just slips that really good slurve down and in.
Seems to have found something a little bit in the last 2 matchups he's had, striking out Westberg, popping up O'Hearn. But the very dangerous Tyler O'Neill is up. He can turn a 2-0 game into a 5-0 game in a moment. Barrios' pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase a slurve in the dirt. 0-1.
And now you're ahead in the count. You have to stay out of the strike zone. Again, Tyler O'Neill is another one of those guys in this lineup that will swing through some pitches. So you stay out of the zone and you let Tyler O'Neill get himself out here.
2-0 Orioles, top of the third. It's Kowser on second and Rutschman on first. Barrios looks at second. Now is 0-1. Bounce to the plate, blocked by Kirk. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That's a good pitch right there. I think the most important thing when throwing that slurve, you have to make it look like a strike, at least a hittable pitch. You have to entice that hitter out of the hand and then let it break out of the strike zone. That one right there, just a little bit too much out of the strike zone.
The 1-1. Fastball missed down and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. Infield and outfield playing to the pull for the right-handed hitter O'Neill. Everyone playing deep on the left side of the field. The 2-1. Swing and a high drive right field. Rodin chasing back, turning at the wall, looking up. See you later. 3-run homer for the Canadian Tyler O'Neill, and he has turned a 2-0 game into a 5-0 game as the Orioles have blown it open early.
Yeah, you called it. He's a guy with a ton of pop. That actually wasn't a terrible pitch. It was a sinker outside, almost off the plate. But Tyler O'Neill just uses those big arms and takes that pitch the other way into that Baltimore Orioles bullpen in right field. But yeah, it wasn't a bad pitch watching that replay, but such a good swing from Tyler O'Neill.
The Baltimore Orioles, we know we're going to score a lot of runs this year, and they have scored 5 already today. Ryan Mountcastle's up. 2 outs and the base is empty, and the first pitch is fouled back 0-1. There might be questions about the Orioles starters and their relievers, but there is not a question about this lineup that hit the second most homers in baseball last year. The 0-1. Low, 1 ball, 1 strike.
And when facing a lineup like this, you have to make good pitches. And as we've said a bunch of times already today, Jose Barrios just doesn't quite have the feel for that fastball. And when that happens, everything else kind of struggles. And here we are, third inning, 5-0 Baltimore.
1-1 pitch, down and away. Check swing, appeal to first. He did go around, says Will Little. So Barrios ahead of Mountcastle, 1-2. Mountcastle 1 for 1 with a double to left field in the second. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a liner out to left center. Santander on the run, reaches it and makes the catch to end the inning. The Orioles, though, strike for 3 runs on 2 hits. The Tyler O'Neill blast, making it 5-0 Baltimore, middle of the third. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center.
It's the Lexus Spring Break event at Don Valley North Lexus. Right now, lease the 2025 NX 350 Hybrid with rates as low as 3.9%. Or choose one of their low-mileage demonstrators and save up to $7,000 on select models. Hurry, these offers end March 31st or while supplies last. See website for details. Expect excellence.
Don Valley North for Lexus.
A proud member of Wayne's Auto Group.
Discover more value at Loblaws. Until April 2nd, get family-size boneless, skinless chicken thighs for just $4.66 a pound. Shop in-store or online today. Conditions apply. See flyer for details. Loblaws, proudly Canadian since 1919.
True North meets True South. Quesada brings together quality Canadian-sourced ingredients with the bold, vibrant flavors of Mexico. Taste real Mexican flavor with Canadian heart. Quesada burritos and tacos. Proudly Canadian, boldly Mexican.
Going on vacation? Spending money in another currency? From dollars to dong, pounds to pesos. If you're still using major banks, you could be getting ripped off. Instead, use Wise and save up to 3 times compared to major banks when you spend money in another currency. Download the Wise app today. Wise, the app for doing things in other currencies. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. He keeps this game tied
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Orioles 5, Blue Jays 0 as we go to the bottom of the third at Rogers Center. First pitch to Will Wagner is a strike out of the hand of Zach Eflin, 0-1. If you weren't with us, Tyler O'Neill's 3-run homer has really created separation in this game. The 0-1. Hit off the end of the bat, weakly on the ground to second. Picked up there by Westberg, throw to first, and Wagner is retired, 1 down. And pretty remarkable. I don't know that it matters that much, but it's a 6th opening day home run for Tyler O'Neill in a row. He already had the record with 5. He adds to it with 6. Shohei Ohtani's chasing him down with 4.
I think it matters. If you're Tyler O'Neill,
Probably
it
matters to him. Yeah. 1 out, Ernie Clement's up. First pitch called strike, 0-1.
I mean, think about that. 6 straight opening days he has a home run. That's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, I mean, it's the coincidence of it is insane. The 0-1 pitch is outside 1-1. Blue Jays, meanwhile, looking for their first base runner. 7 up, 7 down for Eflin. 2 balls sent out to the outfield so far. The 1-1. Swing and a fly ball, shallow left, charging in Cowser, and he'll be there in time to make the catch. 2 down.
Zach Eflin is really throwing that curveball well right now. It's a pitch that he threw 19% of the time last year, but you can tell he's got a very, very good feel for that thing right now, getting Ernie Clement out in front. 77 miles an hour with that big breaking curveball.
See if the first base runner can be Alan Roden in his first major league at-bat. He steps in on the left side. Eflin's pitch. And Roden takes it low, ball 1. Welcome to the Timbermart broadcast booth. When home improvement projects are throwing you a curveball, talk to the folks at Timbermart before you begin your next job. They've got the material and know-how to make sure you have all your bases covered. Timbermart, Canada's building center. 1-0 is outside, and Roden, as he often does, has worked himself into a hitter-friendly count, ahead 2-0.
And I always say, when you look at minor league numbers, if a guy is consistently mashing AAA baseball, 300 average, 317 average, there has to be something to that.
2-0. Hits it hard, foul on the ground, past first base coach Mark Budzinski, 2-1.
We saw it with Spencer Horowitz. We saw it with Nathan Lucas. We saw it with Will Wagner, guys that have put up 2 or more seasons in a row of really, really good offensive numbers. And you can tell from the approach of Alan Roden and those guys that I mentioned that they really do have that elite approach and the ability to take good pitches.
The 2-1 is swatted down the left field line. Cowser veering toward the corner, just on the edge of the grass, makes the catch, and that will do it for the inning. Eflin through the order once unscathed, and his Orioles leading 5-0 after 3. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
When you get a Subaru with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and class-leading safety included, it's like you also get a Subaru that comes with your very own golf club holder, stadium parking navigator, a basketball team transporter, a remote cottage finder, a beaver spotter, a coach hauler, bear country guide, a family road trip carrier, a muddy road controller, extreme wind stabilizer, plus a And we're out of time. Subaru is the multi-tool that masters every unpredictable weather condition. Visit your local Subaru dealer for great lease and finance options.
Okay, flights on Air Canada. How about Prague?
Ooh, Paris. Those gardens.
Gardens. Amsterdam. Tulip Festival.
I see your festival and raise you a carnival in Venice.
Or Bermuda has Carnival.
Ooh, colorful.
You want colorful? Thailand. Lantern Festival? Boom.
Book it. How did we get to Thailand from Prague?
Oh, right. Prague.
Oh, boy. Choose from a world of destinations, if you can. Air Canada. Nice travels.
A 19-year-old girl was kidnapped. I'm going to bring her home. Jason Statham is a working man. Where's the girl? You a cop? You wish I was a cop. From the director of The Beekeeper. This is human trafficking. You do this, better go full on.
Is that a grenade?
Yep. You ain't a cop. You're a working man. That's right. Time to get to work. A working man this Friday.
Hey, this is Kevin Gosman. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
5-0 Orioles as we go to the top of the fourth inning at Rogers Center. Alongside Chris LaRue, I'm Ben Schulman. Thanks for tuning in to the 2025 season opener. Jose Barrios' first pitch is hammered by Cedric Mullins. Deep right field, and the Orioles have gone deep again. First blast of the year for Mullins, and it's 6-0 Baltimore.
Yeah, Cedric Mullins jumped all over that fastball from Jose Barrios. Jose Barrios, again, leaves it right over the middle. Cedric Mullins, who really didn't have a great year last year, but obviously he's seeing the ball well today. He hammered that thing into the bullpen in right field for a 6-0 Baltimore lead.
3 home runs already for the Baltimore Orioles. Barrios is trying to stay in this ball game and save the bullpen for the remainder of this 4-game series. Pitches down to Ramon Urias, who takes strike one.
Yeah, that pitch was about as middle as it gets. 93, thigh high, middle. And like I said about Adley Rutschman, most big league hitters will hit that somewhere, or at least hit it hard somewhere.
The 0-1. Chopper double hits Urias' bat and rolls foul to the left. It's 0-2. Yeah, I mean, well, Mullins might not be the same guy now. It's a former 30-30 guy. He definitely has some pop in that bat. He showed it there with the 383-foot blast. The 0-2. Bounce to the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Barrios getting some dirt out of his cleats, kicking into the rubber. Now looks ahead to the plate. His 1-2 to Urias. Chopper to shortstop, backhanded by Bichette. He sets and throws on to first. It's a strike to Guerrero for the first out of the top of the 4th.
I like that pitch right there. When guys are starting to get big and long and they're starting to get comfortable in the batter's box, you have to throw that fastball inside. Jose Barrios didn't quite get it inside there, but he got it inside enough to get the out. But you could see Alejandro Kirk trying to set up on the inside part of the plate, not letting the Baltimore Orioles get those big long arms through the baseball.
Barrios is pitched down to Jackson Holiday. High ball 1. Top of the 4th, 1 out, nobody on. Holiday struck out looking on a sinker back in the 2nd inning, leaving a runner on 3rd. 1-0. Called strike. It's going to get a lot more runway this year, Jackson Holiday, who was up and down a little bit last year, not just in his performance, but literally up and down from AAA to the majors and back. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Got him out in front on a change, 1-2. And at least for now, Holiday's going to play a handful of shortstop. Gunnar Henderson starting the year on the 10-day injured list. Intercostal strain, which is muscles in kind of your rib area. So Holiday, a natural shortstop, moves to the other side of the bag after being a second baseman for most of last year. The 1-2. Swing and a fly ball hit off the end of the bat to left center. Springer waving off Santander, reels it in. 2 outs.
And keep in mind, Jackson Holliday is really young. He's only 21 years old. As a 19-year-old in 2023, he hit .323 in the minor leagues. There's something in there. The guy's got a ton of pop.
Yeah, he's got a lot of time still. And he's going to get a chance to show it today. He is 0 for 2, though, back to the top of the order with 2 outs and the bases empty. It's 6-0 Orioles, and Colton Cowser's up. Barrios deals. Swing and a fly ball hit well to center field. Springer, though, has room in front of the track. He'll make the catch and end the inning. 3 straight outs for Barrios, but after the solo home run by Cedric Mullins, it's 6-0 for the Orioles now, middle of the 4th. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network, you're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center.
Here at Home Hardware's Bring Beauty Tone Home Reno Sale, everyone's saving on everything they need to tackle their reno project. Like bringing their living room into this century with 25% off Canadian-made Beauty Tone Pure Interior and Specialty Paint. Or tackling that bathroom reno with up to $200 off Max Shower Units. That's better. Earn and redeem Scene Plus points during the Bring Beauty Tone Home Reno Sale. On now at Home Hardware and Building Centers.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate online at carsforkids.ca. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll benefit a child and get a maximum tax credit.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today, and your car can be gone tomorrow.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connectsontario.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Blue Jays up 3-2 on a wacky play to give Toronto the lead.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Inning 6-0. Baltimore leads Toronto. First pitch from Zach Eflin outside. Ball 1. The 4th inning is presented by Bet365. At Bet365, you can bet live in-game on game props, totals, and the money line. Download the app and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. Next pitch down and away again, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Second time through the order for the Blue Jays. No base runners in the first 3 innings. The 2-0. Swing and a rocket foul into the top of the netting down the left field line. 2-1. Well, we just got a delivery, Chris, as they showcase the new food at the ballpark. 2 1-pound pretzels are here. They're massive. They look like a rugby ball size or something like that.
I'm going to be honest, I don't like pretzels.
Oh, boy. Well, hopefully they're not
can have the whole
Chris.
thing. You can have the whole thing.
The 2-1. Swing and a grounder. Foul might have broke the bat of Bichette, although he's keeping the lumber for now. 2-2.
So thank you, Shania, but Ben will have the whole thing to himself.
I know there's at least someone upstairs in the TV booth who loves pretzels. I'll have a little bit of the pretzel. The 2-2. Down and away, 3-2. After Bichette's plate appearance, we'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Domestic opening day for the 2025 season. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a chopper to short. Holiday stepped in, backed up, fields it, throws on to first. 1 out. The out-of-town scoreboard is brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. 100% Canadian owned and operated since 1992. Catch the new menu starting April 8th. Visit stlouiswings.com for more details. You are welcome. 1 out, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. up to the plate. It's 6-0 Orioles here at Rogers Center. The pitch home. Down and away, ball one.
I have to tell you, Ben, it's mind-boggling that St. Louis Bar and Grill has been around since 1892.
Yeah, that would be big. That would be big. 1992, and some of the out-of-town scores. Yankees up 2-1 on the Brewers today. 1-0. Misses low, 2 balls, no strikes. Leadoff homer by Austin Wells was followed by an Anthony Volpe solo shot. Brewers have had a solo home run of their own. Former Blue Jay Vinny Capra hit the home run as Guerrero takes down and in, and it's 3 balls and no strikes. Texas Rangers up 1-0 on the Boston Red Sox right now. 3-0 pitch. Guerrero takes down the middle, strike one. And guess who? Kevin Pillar coming up with the RBI single for the Rangers, made them out of camp. And he has Texas on top 1-0 in the second. All of our out-of-town scores brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. Guerrero expands on a 3-1, swings at a sweeper down and away. It's 3-2.
That's a tough 3-1 pitch. Up 6-0. I can almost guarantee that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. was expecting something straight there, and he gets a little bit of a curveball or whatever that was from Zach Eflin, and he just made him look foolish.
Eflin's battled back to a full count. His pitch. Down and away, ball 4. First base runner of the day for the Blue Jays. Guerrero takes a 1-out walk.
Really good take. Learned his lesson from the previous pitch, and he's telling the dugout, let's go. Let's go. Still early in this ball game.
That's Chris LaRue. I'm Ben Schulman. Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. Blue Jays down 6-0, 1 out, bottom of the 4th. Anthony Santander batting against his former team. Swings from the left side. The pitch. Swing and a pop-up. Foul behind the plate, out of play. 0-1. It's the first season opener at Rogers Center since 2022. It's worth noting that Jose Barrios started that day, and the Blue Jays were in a 7-0 hole before beating the Texas Rangers 10-8. The 0-1. Swing and a high drive. Center field. Mullins going back, circling near the warning track, makes the catch. And that's a long second out. Guerrero will have to remain at first. And now we'll see Andres Jimenez for the second time with 2 outs.
If the Blue Jays can just somehow scratch across 1 run here, I think that would give them a little bit of confidence going forward. 6-0 is a big hole, especially when you haven't gotten a hit yet.
Zach Eflin has been dominant. 1 walk allowed, that's all. His pitch to Jimenez. Called strike. Blue Jays decided to throw in a handful of left-handed hitters like Andres Jimenez today, despite the fact that Eflin is a bit of a reverse splits guy. The 0-1. High, 1 ball, 1 strike. The rationale before the game from John Schneider being that they kind of just wanted to run their best hitters out there, and they weren't worried as much about some reverse splits recently from Eflin. 1-1. Swing and a fly ball. Right field. O'Neill going back. Turns at the wall. And that one's gone. First home run of the year. First runs of the year for the Blue Jays come off the bat of Andres Jimenez. A 2-run shot gives Toronto life. Now down 6-2.
Well, I said that they should scratch 1 across. Andres Jimenez gives them 2. How about that? 6-2 ball game now. Blue Jays are in striking distance.
Jimenez wearing the home run jacket for the first time in his career. Goes down the high five parade in the dugout. Life for the Blue Jays. 2 outs now. Nobody on, bottom of the 4th, and Alejandro Kirk takes down and away ball 1.
A little bit more life in this crowd, too.
It's a packed house here at Rogers Center, and in fairness to them, there wasn't much to cheer for before that swing. That's the first hit and runs of the game for Toronto. 1-0. Fastball in there.
I think there was actually nothing to cheer about. I mean, maybe the Vladimir
player intros were cool.
Oh, yeah, that was fine. Maybe the Vladimir Guerrero Jr. walk. That was a good one.
The 1-1. Swing and a ground ball to third, backhanded by Realists. He'll step into his throw and deliver over to first to end the inning. But the Blue Jays are on the board. For the first time this season, they cross home plate, a 2-run homer by Andres Jimenez, and it's 6-2 after 4 innings. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
For over 35 years, Home Turf Lawn Care has been making lawns lusher and greener and homeowners' lives easier. Sign up with Home Turf and spend more time enjoying your yard. It's easy. Visit hometurf.ca and get an instant customized quote. Or complete the form and a lawn care specialist will get back to you promptly. For award-winning, hassle-free lawn care, visit hometurf.ca. We look forward to creating the lawn of your dreams.
Oh no, I can't be out of ink. Not now.
Mega Tank.
Why do I always do this to myself? What is that printer that comes with 30 times the ink?
Mega Tank.
Yes, it's a Canon. Mega phone?
Mega Tank.
It's a Canon printer. It comes with like $2,000 worth of ink. Prints me over 7,700 color pages.
Mega Tank.
Mega what?
Listen to the voice in your head and get a Canon Megatank printer so you don't have to think about ink for a long, long time. Canon Megatank printers available at Best Buy, Amazon, and Staples.
Guess who just bundled their home and auto with Desjardins Insurance?
Well, look at you, all grown up and saving money.
Yes, I am.
Mom told you to do it, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
Get insurance that's really big on care. Switch and you could save up to 35% on home insurance when you bundle home and auto. Desjardins Insurance. Here for your home, auto, life, and business needs. Certain conditions apply.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Springer started right, coming in, leaps and makes the catch full stretch.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
It's the 5th inning at Rogers Center in the 2025 season opener. The Blue Jays have got on the board. They trail 6-2 to the Baltimore Orioles. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. And Jose Barrios is back out there facing off with Adley Rutschman. Barrios rocks and deals. Rutschman takes low ball 1. Orioles fans have to be thrilled with the start for Rutschman. A solo homer, a single, 2 runs scored. And there were some questions coming into the season about Rutschman after a tough second half last year. 1-0. Outside, 2 balls, no strikes. First half of last season, pardon me, Chris, Rutschman 276, 780 OPS. That's one of the best offensive catchers in baseball. He hit barely above 200 with little power in the second half. 2-0. Called strike at the knees.
It's always the eye test for me. If I'm watching a hitter and he's swinging at pitches that he shouldn't be swinging at, or he's not making good contact on pitches that are right down the middle, that tells me something is off. And Adley was a different guy in the second half of last season.
2-1 is outside, 3-1.
Not unlike Vladimir Guerrero Jr. at the beginning of last season, swinging at pitches that he had no business swinging at, offering at sliders down and away that really started out of the strike zone. Big league hitters, good big league hitters, should not be swinging at those.
The 3-1. Fastball for a strike, 3-2. Rutschman, typically one of the more patient hitters in all of baseball. Got more aggressive last year, chased about 6% more than he did the year before. And he struck out more in 2024 than he did in 23, even though he had about 50 fewer plate appearances overall in the season. The 3-2. Poked foul over the netting off to the left.
I could be wrong, but before the season started last year, was he not trying to hit for more power?
He was, and I think it worked out for him at the start, and then pitchers started to pick on him as they realized it wasn't the same patient Adley Rutschman that they had known 2 years before. 3-2 again. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Waves at a changeup on the outside edge. Strikeout number 4 for Jose Barrios.
Well, that's about as good as it gets. The changeup again started down the middle and faded off the plate. Adley Rutschman was way out in front. That's probably the changeup that he wanted to throw him in the first inning when Adley went deep.
Barrios just kind of trying to keep the Blue Jays around right now. Down 6-2, 1 out. Bases empty, top of the 5th. He deals to Jordan Westburg. Swing and a pop-up right side of the diamond, veering foul. Guerrero now charging in toward Alejandro Kirk, and Vlad makes the catch near the first base dugout. 2 outs. With the quick outs from Barrios, let's quickly go to the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Mentioned the Yankees up 2-1 on the Brewers, that one in the 6th. And the Rangers are up 1-0 on the Red Sox, that one in the top of the 3rd. Over in Houston, it's 1-0 right now for the Astros over the New York Mets. Jake Myers with an RBI groundout to give the Astros the early advantage on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. 6-2 Baltimore, 2 outs, top of the 5th, and the right on left pitch to Ryan O'Hearn. Fastball, top of the zone, strike, 0-1.
Good cutter there. You can see again Alejandro Kirk really emphasizing get that pitch up at least to the top of the strike zone. Was a perfect cutter right there at the top.
Now the 0-1. It's the outside edge. Not sure it was the spot he wanted, but he got it there anyway for strike 2, and it's 0-2.
Now Kirk was set up on the inside part of the plate. That slurve there ended up on the outside part. But like you said earlier in the ballgame, Kirk is so good at getting that baseball and making it look like a better pitch than it actually was.
The 2-strike offering. Fouled off the mask of Kirk, and they'll do it again as that ball rolls back onto the field.
Kirk is so fun to watch. He had the target at the top of the zone, and then he changed it to the dirt, and then he set up down the middle. As a guy that's trying to read him, I have no idea what's coming.
Yeah, he's doing everything possible to make sure coaches, other players on the field don't know what the Blue Jays are doing. 0-2. In the dirt, picked by Kirk on the backhand side. Barrios will reach down for some dirt off the mound. 1 ball, 2 strikes. O'Hearn is 0 for 2, a line-out double play and a pop-up in foul territory. Guy who hit .264 last year, mid-700s on base plus slugging, and nearly 60 RBIs. The 1-2 pitch. Check swing. Pitch was low. Appeal down to third. He did not go, says Ryan Wills. Count evens up at 2. Barrios looking for his first scoreless frame of the season. 1-1, 3-1 in the first 4 innings for the Orioles in terms of runs scored. 2-2. Line drive hit to center field. That'll get down in front of Springer for a base hit.
It's probably not where Jose Barrios and Alejandro Kirk wanted that fastball. They wanted that thing down and away, but instead it was about thigh high. A strike, yeah, a good strike, probably on the black outside. But when you get that fastball up like that, a good left-handed hitter just drops the barrel, and like Ryan O'Hearn did, just hit a good line drive to center field.
So mound meeting now initiated by Pete Walker as the Blue Jays bullpen starts to get loose. Richard Lovelady is throwing. We're here in the Timber Mart broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. Mound meeting breaking up now with the Orioles up 6-2 and a runner on first. 2 outs, top of the 5th inning. It'll be Tyler O'Neill up to the plate, trying to keep this inning going. He hit a big 2-out homer in the 3rd. That's pretty much the difference in the game, a 3-run shot. And now the Orioles up by 4. Right on right, the pitch home. Inside ball one.
Yeah, most right-handed batters in the big leagues wouldn't have been able to get that out, but Tyler O'Neill, just one of those few guys with so much strength. Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, those types of guys, they just get the barrel to the baseball and they hammer it.
The 1-0. Check swing, called strike at the knees on that slurve, and it's 1-1.
What other right-handed hitters have that kind of pop?
Is it Judge, Stanton? I mean, Vlad.
Vlad, yeah. Vlad for sure.
The 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
And I know we've said this a lot, but Tyler O'Neill, not the tallest guy in the world, but he is wide.
It's built like a fire hydrant, Tyler O'Neill.
And he's actually slimmed down just a little bit, trying to stay healthy.
Don't tell the veins in his right arm. I mean, this looks like he's bursting out of his body. O'Neill, in the first year of a 3-year deal, he signed with the Baltimore Orioles. 2 outs, runner on first, 6-2 Baltimore, top of the 5th. Barrios kicks and delivers. Chopper hit third base side. It's going to stay fair. Barrios off the mound, backhands it, but he's got no play. An infield hit for big Tyler O'Neill. Up to second base goes O'Hearn, and there are 2 on with 2 outs.
That's just tough luck for Jose Barrios. A really good slurve down and away to Tyler O'Neill. O'Neill was fooled, hit that weak little bouncer down the third baseline, but Ernie Clement was playing back, and Jose Barrios fielded that baseball and just put it in his back pocket. No chance to get the speedy Tyler O'Neill.
So after 2 straight outs, 2 straight hits for the Orioles to keep this top of the 5th going. And it's the dangerous Ryan Mountcastle up to the plate. He's 1 for 2 today with a double and a lineup. The pitch. Low ball 1.
And I said speedy Tyler O'Neill. I think he's just average.
Should we check what the advanced people think?
Let's do it, but I think he's pretty much just average. Maybe a little bit above average.
Yeah, he's pretty much average. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Huge hack by Mountcastle, who's punished the Blue Jays so many times. 18 home runs against Toronto for Ryan Mountcastle in 65 games.
I wouldn't mind throwing that pitch again. That one right there was at the bottom of the strike zone. Throw another changeup below the strike zone. Let Ryan Mountcastle either swing through it or hit a weak ground ball.
The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Pulled the string with the changeup. It's 1-2.
And now, I mean, that was perfect right there. I probably wouldn't throw another one just because Ryan Mountcastle's now looking for that pitch. I don't know what you throw here. Ryan Mountcastle's a great hitter.
2 on, 2 outs. The 1-2 pitch. High with a fastball. Couldn't get him to chase. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Springer, Wagner, Clement will hit for the Blue Jays in the bottom of the 5th. Toronto trying to keep momentum after Andres Jimenez's 50th career home run started their scoring of 2025. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. First scoreless inning for Jose Barrios, and the Blue Jays still sticking around, down 6-2, middle of the 5th. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center.
At Desjardins, we speak business. We speak startup funding and comprehensive game plans. We've mastered made-to-measure growth and expansion advice, and we can talk your ear off about transferring your business when the time comes. Because at Desjardins Business, we speak the same language you do, business. So join the more than 400,000 Canadian entrepreneurs who already count on us and contact Desjardins today. We'd love to talk business.
At McDonald's, there are new breakfast sandwiches with a secret ingredient.
A secret ingredient?
It's a little sweet, born in the cold, cradled by spring.
Gotcha. It's maple.
Well, yes, but let me finish. It's made
with 100% Canadian maple syrup?
Right again. It's a brand new smoky maple sauce featured in...
Oh, some new McD's breakfast sandwiches.
And you can try it
before 11 a.m. only.
Wow, you're good at this.
I know what I like. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
For a limited time at participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
86 deliveries made.
11 friends' houses moved.
9 rentals completed, and the next one on its way.
Measure your Tundra's capability and memories, not just mileage. It's time to Toyota. Lease a 2025 Tundra 4x4 Crewmax SR from $150 weekly for 36 months at 4.79% with $5,800 down. Visit shoptoyota.ca or your local Ontario Toyota dealer today.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
That ball is gone. Third home run in 4 batters for the Blue Jays.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Blue Jays baseball is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Bottom of the 5th, 6-2 for the Orioles. Zach Eflin deals to George Springer, who hits it on the ground up the middle. Shortstop Holiday has it, throws on to first. 1 out. I'm Ben Schulman. He's Chris LaRue. Blue Jays scored 2 runs in the bottom of the 4th, trying to generate some momentum here and pull off what could be an improbable comeback after being down 6-0.
I'll tell you what, Jackson Holiday is pretty good up the middle there. He made a nice play on that George Springer ground ball to start this inning.
First pitch to Will Wagner is low, ball 1. At least for a couple days, a lot was made out of Holiday having to move there. And talking to someone around the Blue Jays, they said he played shortstop his whole minor league career. If anything, it's more of an adjustment to go to second. 1-0. Called strike, 1-1.
And again, he is just 21 years old.
The 1-1 pitch. Line foul left side, 1-2. Yeah, his whole minor league career does span about
30 seconds.
A half season in 22, the full year in 23, and then half the year last year. Eflin winds and offers, and Will Wagner takes outside to make it 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And Jackson Holiday's brother is a projected top pick as well.
Ethan Holiday, I believe.
I don't know, but that is some good genetics.
2-2. Swing and a drive out to center. Mullins sprinting back at the warning track, runs it down and makes the catch. Line out for the second out. Of course, Jackson, the son of the 7-time All-Star, Rocky Athletic, and Yankee Matt Holiday, as well as Cardinal. And Jackson's uncle, Matt's brother, Josh Holiday, college coach at Oklahoma State. Tom Holiday, the grandfather of Jackson, father of Matt and Josh, longtime collegiate coach, as Ernie Clement first pitch swinging, lines went out to left, and it's caught out there by Colton Cowser to end a quick 1-2-3 inning. Through 5, it's Orioles 6, Blue Jays 2. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Timber Mart, locally owned, proudly Canadian. Your home team advantage with the right materials and the right price. Project know-how that's brought together a wealth of plans and solid advice. Trust your team at your locally owned Timber Mart. Timber Mart always has plans to help you with your plans. Your home, your cottage, your garage, whatever needs your attention first, check the most visited spot on our website for ready-to-order plans to get the job done with Canada's Building Center. Visit timbermart.ca.
Toronto has a pulse, a vibe all its own. And on Friday nights, we turn it up. Enter night mode with us. Experience the energy, strength, and culture of our city. On Friday, March 28th, join us for the first City Connect Friday. The first 15,000 fans in attendance will get a Bo Bichette Laird City Connect replica jersey. City Connect Fridays, night mode. Lights up, let's go. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
Nissan Canada's 60th anniversary sale continues at Scarborough Nissan. Hi, I'm Gary Kingston. Lease the newly designed 2025 Kicks S front-wheel drive for only $70 per week with $14.99 down, including $1,500 in anniversary bonus cash. Eligible Nissan owners may qualify for additional loyalty savings. Available until March 31st at Scarborough Nissan, located at Warren and Eglinton, or at scarboroughnissan.com.
In Scarborough, there's this fire behind our eyes.
A passion in our bellies.
It's in the hearts of our neighbors.
The eyes of our nurses.
And the hands of our doctors.
It's what makes Scarborough, Scarborough.
In our hospitals,
we do more than anyone thought possible, with less than anyone could imagine.
But it's time to imagine what we can do with more.
Join Scarborough Health Network, and together,
We can turn grit into greatness.
Donate at lovescarborough.ca.
Hey. Crazy, scary, spooky. Crazy, scary, spooky.
Sixth inning at Rogers Center and a pitching change for the Blue Jays. This pitching change is brought to you by Home Hardware. Cover all your project bases with the Bring Beauty Tone home sale. Jose Barrios out of the game after 5 innings, and lefty Richard Lovelady makes his Blue Jay debut after splitting last season between the Cubs and Rays. His pitch to Cedric Mullins called a strike, 0-1. Tough day on the whole for Jose Barrios. 5 innings, 9 hits, 6 earned runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. 0-1 pitch fouled back, 0-2.
Yeah, and I know I've said this a few times today already, but he just didn't have the feel for that sinker that is really his bread and butter. If he has a feel for that sinker, if he's dotting it to the corners, to the top of the strike zone, he's really unhittable, and today just wasn't that.
So the Blue Jays turn it over to Lovelady. The 29-year-old's 0-2 is poked foul over the netting. Still no balls, 2 strikes. For Lovelady, it's a 4-pitch mix: slider, sinker, 4-seam, and the rarely used sweeper. The 0-2. Swing and a high drive right field. Allen Rodin chasing in toward the foul line, makes his first catch in the major leagues, and there's 1 out.
Yeah, Lovelady didn't have a great spring training. 8 ball games, 8 1/3 innings, a 6.48 ERA, but the Blue Jays obviously liked him enough to put him on the roster.
And they did clarify recently, did Ross Atkins, keeping Lovelady, letting Ryan Yarbrough go to free agency where he signed with the Yankees. We'll get to that in a sec, but first the left on right pitch to Ramon Urias, fouled back on a line into the netting, 0-1. Atkins said yesterday that he didn't see that as a 1-for-1 Lovelady for Yarbrough, even though both throw left-handed. Considered Yarbrough to be more in the bulk category and Lovelady a more traditional lefty. 0-1. High, 1 ball, 1 strike. They weren't interested, he said, in keeping 2 bulk guys because it's hard to keep them stretched out, Yariel Rodriguez and Ryan Yarbrough, and they wanted a second lefty to complement Brendan Little. The 1-1. Fouled right back, 1-2.
Yeah, I mean, I really like Ryan Yarbrough. He's got great stuff, although he doesn't have that plus fastball that everybody wants in a bullpen. He still gets guys out. He had a great year last year. But you're handcuffed with Yariel Rodriguez, with the contract that he has. You have to take Yariel, and like you said, you don't want 2 bulk guys in that bullpen.
The 1-2. High and outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Blue Jays also ended up taking non-roster invite Jacob Barnes, who's getting loose in the bullpen in left field. Baltimore up 6-2. 1 out, bases empty. Top of the 6th. The pitch. Fouled off the glove of Kirk. Let's go back to the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Red Sox have tied it up against the Rangers after Kevin Pillar gave Texas the early 1-0 lead. Cedar Rafaela with an RBI groundout ties it at 1. That game in the top of the 4th in Arlington. Two-two. Inside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's one that might interest you, Chris. The Marlins hosting the Pirates right now. And the Marlins with the 1-0 lead.
That's my favorite series of the year.
There you go. Xavier Edwards. RBI ground out as the 3-2 misses down and in from Lovelady. ABS would have called it strike 3, but it'll be a walk for Urias.
That was actually a pretty good pitch from Lovelady. You can see him grimace as he found out that ball was called a strike. Or sorry, that pitch was called a ball. But I mean, we have the ability to see the replay, and it was very clearly a strike, but tough call for Lovelady.
So Jackson Holliday up with a runner on first and 1 out. Left on left matchup. Lovelady looks at first, steals home, and Holliday hits it way high but way foul to the left, 0-1. All of our out-of-town scores again brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. Holiday 0 for 2 today, a strikeout and a flyout. The 0-1. Outside with the slider. After struggling last season, Holiday put together a very nice spring for what it's worth. .333 average, double, triple, homer in 16 games. 1-1. Pops it up, out of play again, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And again, we talked about this earlier, but Jackson Holiday had 69 strikeouts last year in 60 ball games. You have 2 strikes, you're ahead in the count. Lovelady needs to expand the strike zone, throw something above the strike zone, or bounce something.
Urias leading off first, the 1-2. Just upstairs with the fastball, and Holiday wouldn't budge.
It's a good pitch.
Lovelady struggled early on last season with the Cubs, really found it with the Rays second half of the year. The 2-2. Foul tip, strike 3. Got him on a breaking ball, and there are 2 down.
That was a really good sequence from Lovelady. Threw that fastball just above the strike zone for a ball, and then came back with the good slider down and away. Jackson Holiday foul tipping that ball into Alejandro Kirk's glove, but that's a very, very good sequence.
So 2 down and another left-handed hitter for Lovelady to face. He deals to Colton Cowser, nearly hit him as he missed inside, ball 1.
I thought that did hit him.
He just spun out of the way, and he's not indicating it hit him, so we'll keep going. Got awfully close.
He also has that sliding mitt hanging out of his back pocket. That counts as the body if that thing gets hit.
I guess so.
I think anyways.
No, I think it does, unfortunately. 1 ball and no strikes, 2 outs, 6-2 Orioles. Top of the 6th, the pitch. Check swing liner foul. That gets into the stands about 6 rows up, just beyond the Blue Jays' third base dugout. It's 1-1.
I didn't see much of Lovelady this spring, but I tell you what, watching him right now, I kind of like what he's bringing. 92, 93 with that sidearm, and then he brings the slider.
Swing and a miss at a slider on the 1-1, and it's 1-2.
And that's a big breaking slider, too. Started at the front hip of Cowser and then broke off the plate outside. Almost impossible for a left-handed hitter to hit.
Working from the third base side of the rubber. Lovelady's pitch. Up and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Came up and in with that fastball. I would imagine that he's going to come with a slider here. I'm sure Cowser's thinking the same thing.
The 2-2. And he hit him. Went up and in with the fastball again and got him, I think, right on the back. And that'll be 2 base runners now for the Orioles as Urias moves up to second.
Well, they were trying to come in with that fastball. Alejandro Kirk was set up on the inside part of the plate. Lovelady came in just a little bit too far. A good thought. I like a good fastball in, left on left. Left-handed hitters really aren't expecting it, but just a little bit too far in.
Actually ended up getting him on the back of his right elbow as he was turning to try and take it in the back, and it looks like that'll be it for Lovelady. With the switch hitter Rutschman coming up, they're going to keep him batting left and send Jacob Barnes into the game. 6-2 right now, the Orioles lead. Runners on first and second, 2 outs, top of the 6th. Let's go back to baseball control. Here's Show Ali.
Thanks very much, guys. Let's check in on the out-of-town scoreboard. This pitching change brought to you by Home Hardware. Cover all your project spaces with the Bring Beauty Tone home sale. Of course, opening day everywhere except for Los Angeles and Chi-Town. The Dodgers and Cubs are 2-0 and 0-2 respectively after that Tokyo series a few weeks ago. But a lot of games going on right now. Ben has been updating this one. Brewers at Yankees, still showing 2-1 Yankees right now. That game in the bottom of the 6th inning. Austin Wells and Anthony Volpe both slamming solo home runs for the Brewers. Vinny Capra getting one back for Milwaukee, a solo bomb for him. Elsewhere around the scoreboard, the Rangers now lead the Red Sox 2-1. Boston getting their lone run so far from Cedar Rafaela. Kevin Pillar. Hand up if you knew Kevin Pillar played for the Rangers. He had an RBI for the Rangers earlier. In the Chris Leroux Bowl, the Marlins lead the Pirates 1-0. The Braves lead the Padres 3-2. Ozzie Albies absolutely tattooing a 91-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle for Atlanta. The Mets trail the Astros 3-0. The Reds lead the Giants 3-2, though Helio Ramos just hitting a solo home run there. And the Royals lead the Guardians 3-1. Vinny Pasquantino with a 3-run bomb. And zeros right now in Washington between the Phillies and the Nationals. That game's going to the bottom of the 5th inning. But Mackenzie Gore, one of the younger starters in Major League Baseball, with 12 Ks over 5 innings of work. Pretty remarkable stuff. Of course, the Nationals coming to the Rogers Center starting on Monday. And over in the NHL, 10 games on the calendar tonight, 5 Canadian teams in action. First, the Sens get going at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific. They're in Detroit to take on the Red Wings. The Habs in Philly to take on the Flyers at the same time. Later on tonight, Stars at Flames at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. And the Leafs get back in action tonight as well. They're out west to play the Sharks, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 Pacific. Blue Jays baseball brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Let's get back to the Rogers Center. Here's Ben Schulman and Chris Leroux.
Thank you, Joe. Return to the Blue Jays as Jacob Barnes makes his first appearance of 2025 with runners on first and second, 2 outs, and the Orioles up 6-2, top of the 6th. His pitch to Adley Rutschman. High and outside, ball 1. 34-year-old Floridian Barnes, now pitching in a 10th Major League season, pitched 10 games with Toronto in 2021. The 1-0. Called strike with a heater at the knees. Remember talking to Barnes early on in spring training about the possibility of pitching for the Blue Jays, and he was so excited about getting to pitch in Toronto potentially. He didn't get to in 2021. The 1-1. High 2-1. And so he admitted it was kind of weird to be a Blue Jay, but to not really know what it's like to pitch for the Blue Jays at Rogers Center. He gets that feeling for the first time today. Arias on second, Kowser on first. The 2-1 to Rutschman, swing and a miss, pulled the string on him, and it's 2-2. Second reliever used this inning by the Blue Jays. Richard Lovelady got the first 2 outs, but walked a batter and hit a batter. That's why there's 2 on. Barnes set, peaks at second. Now the pitch home. Broken bat, flare out to right field. Rodin started back. He'll jog in. He'll make the catch, and he'll hit when we come back. Alan Rodin leads off the bottom of the 6th inning coming up. Middle of 6. Right now it's 6-2 for the Baltimore Orioles. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center.
When you get a Subaru with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and class-leading safety included, it's like you also get a Subaru that comes with your very own golf club holder, stadium parking navigator, a basketball team transporter, a remote cottage finder, a beaver spotter, a coach hauler, bear country guide, a family road trip carrier, a muddy road controller, extreme wind stabilizer, plus a... And we're out of time. Subaru is the multi-tool that masters every unpredictable weather condition. Visit your local Subaru dealer for great lease and finance options.
Discover more value at Loblaws. Until April 2nd, get family-sized boneless, skinless chicken thighs for just $4.66 a pound. Shop in-store or online today. Conditions apply. See flyer for details. Loblaws, proudly Canadian since 1919.
Since 1963, Pizzaville has been crafting the perfect pizza with passion, quality, and that unmistakable Canadian spirit. Proudly Canadian owned and operated. Order Pizzaville at 416-736-3636.
A 19-year-old girl was kidnapped. I'm gonna bring her home. Jason Statham is a working man. Where's the girl? You a cop? You wish I was a cop. From the director of The Beekeeper. This is human trafficking. You do this, better go full on.
Is that a grenade?
Yep.
You ain't a cop. You're a working man.
That's right. Time to get to work. A working man this Friday.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Archo smashes the ball to right field. It's gone!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Blue Jays down 6-2. Alan Roden leading off the bottom of the sixth. Zach Eflin's first pitch is low, ball one. Second major league at bat for Alan Roden out of Creighton. The 1-0. Bends the knee, takes inside, 2 balls, no strikes.
I know you talked about this earlier a little bit, but he absolutely raked in spring training. 407, a couple of homers.
.541 on base percentage. The 2-0. Down and away, ball 3.
And this is just a pro at bat. You wouldn't think this is his second career AB, not even flinching at any of these 3 pitches from Zach Eflin.
Eflin winds and offers home. And the 6'6" righty hits the outside edge to make it 3-1.
Tell you what, that was a good take. Roden kind of bending his neck just a little bit. Not really sure about that call there, and I tend to agree with him.
The 3-1. Swing and a ground ball up the middle. It's going to sneak through into right center field, a base hit. Past the dive of the second baseman, Westberg. It's the first major league hit for Alan Roden.
And how about that? A little seeing eye single for Alan Roden for his first major league hit. I think he'll take it any way he can.
A lot of the fans here on their feet cheering on Alan Roden. A moment that he'll remember for the rest of his life. And what a moment, too, for both of his parents, his sister, and his girlfriend who are here in attendance. They are going to get the sticker to authenticate that baseball, and I'm sure that one will live wherever Alan Roden lives for the rest of his life. Bo Bichette up to the plate. Blue Jays down 6-2, and the pitch home. Swing and a foul back, 0-1.
My mom has a sanitary sock. You know those big, long sanitary socks that big league players use?
Yeah.
And all of my balls from my career that are special, my first strikeout, my first win, but I have a Roy Halladay signed baseball in there. They're all in this long, big, and I have no idea where it is.
But so she's got it somewhere.
She has it somewhere.
Okay. Yeah. All right, thank you. That would have worried me a lot. Alan Roden talking with Ryan Mountcastle over at first base after his first big league hit. And the Blue Jays still with a chance here, down 6-2. No outs, runner on first, bottom of the sixth. The 0-1. Swing and a high drive deep right field. O'Neill twisting back on the warning track, leaps at the wall, and he makes the catch. Bichette missed that one just barely from being at least a double, if not a homer. 2-time Gold Glover Tyler O'Neill takes it away for the first out.
And that was a little bit of a circus out there. Tyler O'Neill turned to the right, turned back to the left. I thought that ball was going over his head, but like you said, a 2-time Gold Glover. He's pretty sure-handed out there. A little bit of a circus, but once he gets his eyes on that baseball, he's probably going to catch it.
He did right there. He remains deep with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. up. Eflin from the stretch, the pitch. Low ball 1. Although it's long odds for the Blue Jays to come back, it's worth noting that last year on opening day, Eflin dominated them until the 6th inning. Third time through, they scored 5 runs off Eflin to take a lead that they would not relinquish, beating the Rays 8-2. 1-0 pitch, low, 2 balls, no strikes.
And if I'm Vlad here, I'm zeroing in on my pitch, and I am getting big. I'm trying to get my team back in this ball game.
30 home runs for Guerrero last year and 44 doubles. The 2-0. Swing and a fly ball right field. Hit it off the end of the bat. O'Neill's got a beat on it, and about 15 feet in front of the track, he makes the catch. 2 outs.
And in a 2-0 count for Vladimir Guerrero Jr., that's really not the pitch you want to swing at. A little cutter on the outside part of the plate. You just want to take that and go on to the next pitch, though. Obviously, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. was fooled by that pitch, thought it was a fastball, thought he could do damage with it, and it kind of cut away from the barrel at the last second.
So they'll look for a big swing from a different guy, Anthony Santander, a mountain of a man batting from the left side. Roden on first, 2 outs, and the pitch home. Called strike on the inside corner, bottom of the zone. All 7 of Anthony Santander's major league seasons spent, all 8 with the Baltimore Orioles. 155 home runs. The 0-1. Check swing, pitch was inside. He did not go on appeal. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Just imagine how tough it is for any pitcher to face Bo Bichette, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and then Anthony Santander. Just such a daunting part of this lineup.
The 1-1. Called strike, picked the outside corner. What a day it's been for Eflin. He gets ahead 1-2.
Yeah, that's a good pitch right there. Almost unhittable.
There is action in the Baltimore pen down the right field line. Gregory Soto, the hard-throwing lefty, is getting loose. Perhaps it's to face the on-deck hitter, left-handed hitting Andres Jimenez, who homered in the 4th inning. Only Blue Jays runs today. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a flare off the end of the bat, left center field. Going back is Kowser, and he'll make the catch to end the inning. Alan Roden picks up his first major league hit, but he's left on first base, and as we go to the 7th, it's 6-2 for the Orioles. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Spring is here. We're all happy to see winter in our rearview mirror. But did you know that spring is a red zone for rust? The combination of leftover winter road salt, increased precipitation, and warmer weather are a perfect recipe for corrosion. Protect your vehicle from rust today by visiting your local Crown Rust Protection Center or book your appointment today at crown.com. For a special spring rust protection offer, visit your local Crown Rust Protection Center.
Drywall, an essential part of many, many projects. It's important to get it right and start with quality materials. Essentials you'll always find competitively priced at Timber Mart, like CGC, a recognized giant in the drywall industry for over 100 years and leading Canadian manufacturer of gypsum drywall. Well established and reputable, building pros and contractors know CGC, and you get exactly what the best builders trust. That's as sexy as drywall gets. Timber Mart, Canada's building center.
Talent is just the beginning.
Vladdy launches one.
Strength alone is not enough.
He's one of the best hitters in baseball.
Skills are not given. They are honed, forged.
Guerrero Jr. is ridiculously hot.
Relentlessly refining. More than a hitter, a master of his craft. A silver slugger. On Monday, March 31st, the first 15,000 fans will get a Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Silver Slugger bobblehead. Find your seat at BlueJays.com. Lights up. Let's go.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Middle in fastball, but he puts it by Cruz. 2 down.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
7th inning about to start at Rogers Center for the 2025 season opener. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Jacob Barnes back out on the mound for the Blue Jays, and he deals home to Jordan Westberg, who hits it foul, 0-1. Our standings today are brought to you by Bet365, and presently no standings really going on in Major League Baseball. The 0-1 is hit foul again, 0-2. Other than the Dodgers are 2-0 right now, and the Cubs are 0-2 coming off of the Tokyo series. But that's really all we got right now. But they're brought to you by Bet365. With Bet365, you can watch thousands of live games, build your own bet, and you can even make a bet while the game's still being played. 19 plus, play responsibly, Ontario only. The 0-2. Hit back foul, still 0-2.
Quick question. Are you going to go home tonight and watch that Dodgers-Tigers game?
It's 10 o'clock start?
7.
Oh, for sure.
That is an epic matchup.
You have Tarek Skubal taking on the Triple Crown winner in Cy Young last year, taking on 2-time Cy Young winner Blake Snell. The 0-2. Check swing, pitch down and away, 1-2. Blake Snell, sneaky on his 3rd National League West team. Also, he went from Padres to Giants to Dodgers.
He's from Seattle, so I feel like he just wants to stay out there. He'll end up in Seattle at some point.
1-2 pitch is just outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The count on Westberg. Barnes rocks and releases, and Westberg hits it foul. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Pretty good pitch from Barnes right there. 95 down and away. Jordan Westberg doing a good job staying alive there. I'm pretty impressed with Barnes' stuff so far. Good slider, good split finger, and that fastball mid-90s.
Throws a low 90s cutter as well. His 2-2 is just off the plate. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
They're saying that was a cutter, but I feel like that was a little bit of a slider. That slider movement, 86 miles an hour.
I tend to agree with you there. 3-2 pitch. Bounce to the plate, ball 4, and Westberg takes a leadoff walk.
And I'm sure John Schneider is kind of scratching his head there. You're down 6-2. This is the leadoff hitter in the inning. There's no reason to throw a slider there. Just throw that fastball in a good location and see what Westberg can do.
Blue Jays have Chad Green up in their bullpen in left field right now. Ryan O'Hearn at the plate, no outs, runner on first, and the pitch is called strike 1. Not a spot that you typically think Green is warming up for, but you have to think about when guys have thrown recently too at the end of spring. The 0-1. Low 1 ball, 1 strike. Speaking of, Max Scherzer threw yesterday, and John Schneider said he came back today, and there were no issues. He said he rolled right into Pete's office upon getting in here and started going over scouting reports, getting ready for a start on the weekend. 1-1 pitch is lined out to center. Springer charging in, dives and makes the catch. He can still do it out in center. George Springer with a heck of a play to take a hit away, 1 down.
And that's a very, very difficult play. Those low line drives that are coming directly at you as an outfielder, where you have to dive straight forward, are very difficult, because if that ball gets by you, that's a triple. If not, an inside the park home run. George Springer doing a great job catching that baseball.
Barnes clapping into his glove when he saw it. Now he deals to Tyler O'Neill. No, he's going to turn and throw over to first. A dive back safe by Westberg. When talking to people in and around the Blue Jays, Springer's hands and routes seem to stick out a lot in his play in the outfield. Played a very solid right field last year. Asked to play center here on opening day. Pitch to O'Neill, called strike. It's a good segue, too, from talking about Scherzer, who dealt with a little bit of ailments in spring, to Dalton Varsho, who regularly will be in center field for the Blue Jays whenever he is healthy. Got to see Varsho today, who traveled up from Florida for opening day. 0-1 to O'Neill. Down and away, ball 1. Varsho, first of all, looked to be in great spirits, even with his season delayed, and mentioned that he's now played in 2 minor league games in minor league spring training. He's been out in center field, 2 in the field, I should mention, out in center field for the Blue Jays. 1-1 pitch hit on the ground through the 5-6 hole and into left field, a base hit. Up to second base goes Westberg. It's a 3rd hit today for O'Neill, who's yet to be retired. On the subject of Varsho, though, he's not throwing in games right now, so he literally told me he will roll the ball back to someone if he has to, but he was so excited to be out in center field. He got 5 different balls hit in the air to him between those 2 games. And he said in terms of that aspect, it just came right back to him. I compared it, and he agreed to like riding a bike. Once he was out in center field, the Gold Glover was feeling comfortable. They just got to get him throwing, and he should be back with the Blue Jays maybe in a matter of weeks. First and second one out, the pitch to Ryan Mountcastle outside, ball 1.
Well, that's a good sign, because they could really use his bat. Talk about a guy that raked during spring training. Dalton Varsho really had a breakout spring.
A look at second by Barnes, the pitch home. Down and away, 2 balls, no strikes.
But of course, they could also use his defense.
Yeah, I mean, he is, probably the best defensive center fielder in the game right now. If not, he's in the top 2 or 3. 2-0 to Mountcastle. Down and away, ball 3. And he's an imminent return for the Blue Jays, hoping to get him back soon. Another guy they think they might get soon, not injured, but Dylan Tate, who was signed mid-spring training, continuing his ramp up. He should not be too long before he reaches the Major League roster. 3-0. Fastball in there, strike 1. And, of course, that makes these outings for guys like Jacob Barnes and Richard Lovelady that much more important. Sure, you made opening day, but when you're at the back end of a 26-man roster, you have to prove it on a daily basis. 3-1. Swing and a grounder to third. Clement has it, steps on third for 1. Throw to first, and Guerrero wisely steps off the bag to pick it, avoiding an error in that ball, getting away, so it'll be a fielder's choice. Mountcastle safe at first, up to second is Tyler O'Neill.
That shows you just how smart Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is over there. A lot of first basemen will try to keep their foot on the bag and try to get that out, but Vladimir Guerrero Jr. knew that he couldn't get the out, and he came off the bag and got that short hop from Ernie Clement, saving a run, saving an out. Pretty good job.
It will not save the outing, though, of Jacob Barnes, who is lifted from this ballgame with 2 on and 2 out in the top of the 7th. Chad Green is about to come on for the Blue Jays. Before that, let's go back to Show Ali.
Thank you very much, Ben. This pitching change brought to you by Home Hardware. Cover all your project bases with the Bring Beauty Tone home sale. Let's do a quick check of the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. Let's check back in on some scores around Major League Baseball, some games we have been keeping up with. The Nationals now lead the Phillies 1-0. Still that continuing great start from Kenzie Gore is still intact. Keibert Ruiz with the lone run off of Zach Wheeler, a solo shot there. The Yankees lead the Brewers 2-1 still, bottom of the 7th inning. The Pirates now on top of the Marlins 2-1, bottom of the 5th inning. Red Sox and Rangers, that game is tied at 2, top of the 6th inning in Texas. The Braves lead the Padres 4-3. Austin Riley hitting a home run for the Braves in that game. The White Sox in Chicago, they are taking on the Angels. They lead the Angels 3-0. The Astros still leading the Mets 3-0 as well. And now the Guardians have come back. They were down 3-1 to the Royals. They are now on top 4-3, top of the 6th inning. Over in the NHL, 10 games on the calendar tonight, 5 Canadian teams in action. First, the Sens get going at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. They're in Detroit taking on the Red Wings. The Habs are in Philly to take on the Flyers at the same time. Later on tonight, we have Stars at Flames, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. That's on Sportsnet West and Sportsnet 960 The Fan in Calgary. Oilers at Kraken goes at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. That game's on Sportsnet 1. And the Leafs, they get back in action tonight. They are out west to play the Sharks in San Jose. It is a 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Pacific start time. That game will be on Sportsnet Ontario. No Leafs talk tonight. The boys, J.D. Bunkus and Sam McKee, are off tonight. They will get back in action when the Leafs get back in action themselves on Saturday. Blue Jays baseball is brought to you, as always, by Crown Rust Protection. Let's get you back to the action down at the Rogers Center. Here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you, Show, and welcome back to the Timbermark broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. 6-2 Orioles, 2 outs, top of the 7th, and with runners on first and second, Chad Green is on to face Cedric Mullins. The pitch, high, ball 1. First appearance of the year for Green after 53 games last year, over 53 in the 3rd innings, a 3.21 ERA with a career-high 17 saves. The 1-0. Called strike, 1-1. Green expected to be part of that big 3 in the Blue Jay pen. Just getting some work in here with Toronto down 4. The 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
That's a big pitch right there. 95 on the inside part of the plate. I mean, you could tell what Cedric Mullins was trying to do with that pitch. A big, long swing. Now you can pretty much do anything with him.
Fastball, slider are the main pitches. Worked on a 2-seamer in the spring. 1-2. Swing and a deep drive. Mullins has vaulted it over the right field wall for his 2nd home run of the game. A 3-run blast has the Orioles up a touchdown. It's 9-2.
And you can see Alejandro Kirk was tapping the dirt with his glove before Chad Green threw that pitch. And Chad Green, sure enough, just threw a spinner right over the middle of the plate, and Cedric Mullins hammered it into that bullpen in right field for a 9-2 lead.
Fourth home run of the day for the Orioles. Second home run of the season for Cedric Mullins. And a bit of the air has been sucked out of the building after the Blue Jays had inched closer with the Jimenez two-run shot. A big lead again for the Orioles. Ramon Urias swings and misses, strike one.
That's a tough blow for Jacob Barnes, too. 2 of his earned runs were on base there.
Swing and a miss again by Urias at 95. No balls, 2 strikes.
Like you said, he's a guy that'll be fighting to stay on this roster when Dylan Tate comes back, when Eric Swanson comes back.
Ryan Burr also could be in the mix. He's on the injured list. 0-2. Just low, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Blue Jays did designate Zach Pop for assignments today. He was on the injured list. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Gets him on the slider, but the damage done by the Orioles. 3-run homer from Cedric Mullins, and it's 9-2 for Baltimore at the 7th inning stretch. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Of all the things that Timber Mart can lend a hand to build, community ranks among the most important. And with the Timber Mart Local Leaders Initiative, we strive to recognize those dedicated to making their hometowns a better place to live, work, and play. From now to June 25th, you can vote to select our grand prize winner. They'll receive a $10,000 grant to support their outstanding initiative as Timber Mart's Local Leader of the Year. To vote, visit local-leaders.com. Timber Mart, Canada's building center.
Spring is here. We're all happy to see winter in our rearview mirror. But did you know that spring is a red zone for rust? The combination of leftover winter road salt, increased precipitation, and warmer weather are a perfect recipe for corrosion. Protect your vehicle from rust today by visiting your local Crown Rust Protection Center or book your appointment today at crown.com. For a special spring rust protection offer, visit your local Crown Rust Protection Center.
Let's see some talent.
Tuesdays on City TV. The stage is set for incredible performances.
I think you're friggin' amazing.
The judges are looking for the next $1 million act
You devastated this stage.
that will leave you speechless.
You make me laugh. You leave me in awe. That was amazing.
All new Canada's Got Talent. Tuesdays 8/7 Central on City TV or stream it on City TV Plus.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Fastball painted at the bottom of the zone, and that's back-to-back strikeouts.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
New pitcher for the Orioles as we go to the home half of the 7th inning. Sir Anthony Dominguez is on for Baltimore, ending the day of Zach Eflin, the righty Dominguez, to face off with Andres Jimenez. Baltimore up 9-2. The pitch home. Inside, maybe a little bit low, ball 1. First full season with the Baltimore Orioles for Dominguez, who was dealt over at the deadline from the Philadelphia Phillies last year. 1-0. High, 2 balls, no strikes. Right-hander has a high 90s four-seamer. The 2-0 is 99 miles per hour on the corner for strike 1.
Yeah, if Dominguez is throwing strikes, he gets guys out. He really gets into trouble when he starts picking around the zone and walking guys, but there's no doubt that he has that huge fastball.
The 2-1. Outside at 98. 3 balls, 1 strike. Complements it with a slider. Throws a sinker as well. Every once in a while, he'll throw a changeup. Spent parts of 2018 all the way to mid-2024 with the Phillies. 16 saves as a rookie in 2018. The 3-1. Swing and a fly ball, foul out of play, full count. He's looking to bounce back off of what was a rough spring. 6 innings, he allowed 13 earned runs, walked 5, gave up 5 homers and 15 hits total in those 6 frames. The 3-2. Inside, ball 4, and a leadoff walk to Jimenez.
Well, if you're going to get 7 runs and get back in this ball game, that's a good start.
Anderson Jimenez having himself a pretty nice offensive day after the 2-run homer with that walk. He's been on twice. Alejandro Kirk trying to get on for the first time after the Blue Jays inked him to a 5-year, $58 million extension. Keeps him in Toronto through his age 31 season. The pitch. Called strike. Dominguez set, middle of the rubber. He peeks at first and deals home. Swing and a grounder to third, picked up by Urias. Throws to second for 1, back to first, 5-4-3, double play. Third time Kirk has hit the ball on the ground to third base today, and this time it burns the Blue Jays for 2 quick outs on a slider from Dominguez. George Springer will try to keep the inning going.
A little bit of a slower slider, 82 miles an hour from Dominguez. Got Alejandro Kirk way out in front. Kirk just hit it off the end of the bat. A little weak ground ball to third base.
The pitch. Bounce to Springer, ball 1. We just got our first Jeff Blair, Kevin Barker sighting as the opener of Blue Jays Talk is getting set after the final out of this game. 1-0. Swing and a foul off, 1-1. You can call them after the game, 416-870-0590, star 590 on your cell, long distance at 1-888-666-0590, or you can text in at 590-590. Standard message and data rates may apply. 1-1. Down and away, 2-1. I got a feeling there's going to be a lot of calls, Chris.
I was just thinking that. I was going to let you say that, but I was just thinking that.
9-2 Orioles. 2 outs, bases empty. Bottom of the 7th. The pitch. Low, 3 balls and 1 strike.
Do you think anybody's going to call in and say, I told you spring training doesn't matter?
Eileen, yes. Eileen, yes. Although, I don't know that Blair and Barker were really championing the Golden Grapefruit pursuit anyway, so might not be an I told you so moment. 3-1, up and in, ball 4. Second walk issued by Dominguez. If not for that double play ball, Blue Jays might have a rally, but it's Springer on first now with 2 outs.
Pretty good AB right there from Springer. Took some tough pitches, fouled off some tough pitches. It's got to be a good sign.
His first time on in the 2025 season. Guy trying to follow him up in that pursuit is Will Wagner, who's 0 for 2. A deep line out to center and a ground out to second. The pitch. Called strike. Among rookies with 80 plate appearances or more last year, Wagner had the best batting average at .305. Played in 24 games down the stretch for Toronto. 0-1. Called strike, 0-2.
Pretty good slider there from Dominguez. Kind of buckled Wagner's knees. You really don't see that all that often from Will Wagner.
Left-handed hitter, knees bent in his stance, rests the bat on his left shoulder. The 0-2. Fouled right back off the screen, just missed it.
Good job staying alive. 98 at the top of the strike zone. A tough pitch to handle. Down 0-2 in the count.
We can now say son of the Hall of Famer, Will Wagner, because Billy Wagner inducted into the Hall of Fame on the 2025 ballot. 0-2 outside 1-2. It was Billy, the great closer's last year on the ballot, and deservedly, he finally got through to the Hall of Fame. Runner on first, 2 down, the 1-2. Swing and a line drive. That's trouble headed toward right, and it'll be down for a base hit. Springer stops at second. O'Neill gets it back in quickly, and the Blue Jays have 2 aboard with 2 down.
And again, I've said this a million times about Will Wagner, but he's such a tough out. He takes tough pitches and just puts short, quick swings to the baseball. No different there. A good slider down in the zone from Dominguez. Will Wagner going down and golfing that thing into right field.
Pitching coach Drew French is going to go out to the mound right now and talk to Sir Anthony Dominguez before Ernie Clement bats for the Blue Jays. This is the first time that Toronto's had a runner in scoring position. Blue Jays' 2 runs came on a home run with Vladdy standing on first. So George Springer is the first Blue Jay to stand on second base this year. By the way, this copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership or the Sportsnet Radio Network. First and second, 2 outs, 9-2 Orioles, bottom of the 7th, and the pitch to Clement. Low ball 1.
Dominguez really wanted that one, tilting his head to the left. Didn't really agree with Lance Barksdale's call there.
I tend to agree with Dominguez. That looked like it caught the plate. The 1-0. Down and away 2-0. You know a lot better than me. I have to imagine when your command is already a bit of a struggle and then you throw a first pitch that should be a strike and it's a ball, that's twice as frustrating as usual. 2-0. Skipped it to the backstop. Both runners are going to scamper up 90 feet. Springer to third and Wagner to second on the wild pitch.
Well, more often than not, if you're all over the place like Sir Anthony Dominguez really has been this inning, big league umpires probably won't give you that questionable call like they did down in the zone to Ernie Clement. It's almost like you have to earn that pitch. If you're around the zone, he probably would have gotten that call.
Now he's in a tough spot. First base is open. It's second and third, 2 outs, and the 3-0 to Clement is called a strike at the top of the zone. Ernie turned to flip the bat, but he'll remain at the plate. It's 3-1. Allen Rodin waiting on deck, had his first major league hit last inning. He wants a chance here with the Blue Jays down 9-2, second and third, bottom of the 7th. Clement hitting with a 3-1 count and 2 outs. Infield back and shifted to the pull side. The 3-1. Swing and a pop-up right side of the infield. Westberg, the second baseman, stretches out his arms to call it and makes a 2-handed catch to end the inning. 2 walks and a hit for the Blue Jays, but no runs. They leave a pair on, and we go to the 8th with Toronto trailing 9-2. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Supporting Canadian businesses has never been more important. That's why Canada Post is committed to making it easier to ship Canadian with our best rates ever. Right now, your business will save up to 70% on expedited shipping and returns. Plus, as a Toronto-based business, you can access rates as low as $3.50 for lightweight local packages. It's time to shop Canadian, ship Canadian. Learn more about our best rates at canadapost.ca/shipcanadian.
From a galaxy far, far away to Roy Thompson Hall. Don't miss Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back in concert. Watch the Battle for the Galaxy intensify on the big screen as your Toronto Symphony Orchestra performs John Williams' epic score live to picture. May 22nd through 25th at Roy Thompson Hall. Tickets at tso.ca. Presentation licensed by Disney Concerts.
Okay, flights on Air Canada. How about Prague?
Ooh, Paris. Those gardens.
Amsterdam. Tulip Festival.
I see your festival and raise you a carnival in Venice.
Or Bermuda has Carnival.
Ooh, colorful.
You want colorful? Thailand. Lantern Festival? Boom.
Book it. How did we get to Thailand from Prague?
Oh, right. Prague.
Oh, boy.
Choose from a world of destinations, if you can. Air Canada. Nice travels.
Hey, this is Chad Green. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
New pitcher for the Blue Jays, Yariel Rodriguez, takes over in the 8th inning of the season opener in 2025. 9-2, the Orioles lead the Blue Jays. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Thanks so much for joining us today. We get to see the season debut of Rodriguez, who more than likely is going to be asked to finish out this ball game, getting the last 6 outs. The pitch to Jackson Holliday is rocketed foul to the left side, 0-1. Rodriguez had loosened up as a starter through spring training in case of injuries, but in the bullpen with everyone healthy, 0-1. Fastball upstairs at 97, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, Yariel is used to coming out of the bullpen. Last year was kind of a unicorn season for him, where the Blue Jays were trying to start him. It didn't go as well as both sides wanted it to.
Next pitch is inside, 2-1.
I'm actually excited to see what his arm looks like, what he looks like out of the bullpen. And we already saw that big fastball, 97 miles an hour.
Rodriguez, a setup man of the year in Japan. The 2-1. Low and away at 97, 3-1.
And he was really, really good in Japan as a bullpen guy, as a setup guy. If he can harness that and do that for the Blue Jays, I mean, the sky's really the limit.
Rodriguez winds, kicks, and offers, and hits the zone to make it a full count.
2021, he had a 1.64. 2022, he had a 1.15. I played over in Japan. I know how hard it is to get guys out. And for Yariel to throw up those kind of numbers is pretty impressive.
His 3-2. Swing and a looper up the middle. That's going to split Bichette and Jimenez and land in center field for a base hit. First hit of the year for Jackson Holliday, who's now 1 for 4. We can see already the difference in Rodriguez. You mentioned the 97-mile-per-hour heater. He averaged 94 on his fastball last year as a starter. Obviously, you have to manage it a little bit differently as a starter. Now he can really let it fly, even if he is in more of a long role than a 1-inning reliever. Top of the order up, Colton Cowser to the plate, right on left pitch. Outside, ball 1. Cowser 0 for 2 today, but he's been on twice, walked, and was hit by a pitch by Richard Lovelady. 1-0. Swing and a miss.
Nice little slider there, 85 miles an hour, down and into Colton Cowser. He needs to harness that. He needs to be able to throw strikes with those off-speed pitches, something he struggled with last year.
Has the slider, a curve, and a split finger pitch. Next offering, swing and a miss. Went off speed again at 86. That was a slider once more, and he's ahead 1-2.
And now you can expand. You can expand with that good 97 up at the zone, or you can throw another slider down below the zone. But I like what I'm seeing so far from Yariel. I know he struggled a little bit in spring training, but this is a whole different ball game here.
Rodriguez in the stretch, sets from the first base side of the rubber. His 1-2. Grounded foul right side. Rodriguez is the 5th Blue Jay pitcher to appear in the game so far. Barrios, Lovelady, Barnes, Green, and Yariel. Another 1-2. Just in off the plate, 2 balls, 2 strikes. On the Orioles side, they've only used 2 because, Chris, Zach Eflin was fantastic today. 6 innings, 2 hits, 2 earned runs. 2-2. Swing and a pop-up, middle of the infield, veering toward the left side. Ernie Clement jogging to the mound, makes the catch, 1 out.
Yeah, Zach Eflin was pretty great today. all of his pitches were working, and like we said before the ball game, he is a true sinker ball pitcher, a ground ball pitcher. That sinker today was as good as it's going to get from Zach Eflin.
Only had 2 strikeouts. It was pitching to contact that worked well for Eflin, who only had to throw 78 pitches in his 6 innings. 1 out, switch hitter Adley Rutschman bats left with Holiday on first. The pitch. Check swing, pitch was up and in, ball 1.
97 there from Rodriguez. I like that.
9-2 for the Orioles. Rodriguez gave up a single to Holiday and then got a pop out just a moment ago from Colton Cowser. The 1-0. Hit foul on the ground toward the first base dugout. 1 ball, 1 strike.
The thing that's great about Yariel's fastball is it's not a straight fastball. It has a little bit of cut at the end. That one right there was 94, but it just cut off the barrel of Adley, and Adley kind of fouled it off back to the Orioles dugout. But that's a weapon for him that he really has to use.
1-1 is in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike. That was a splitter that he spiked there. Pitch that moves arm side. He'll throw it in the mid to high 80s. Rodriguez rocks and deals. 96, bottom half of the zone, called strike, 2-2.
It's a good pitch. If you're getting Adley Rutschman to take that fastball right there in the middle of the plate, down in the zone, you have him probably overthinking a bit, and that means Yariel is doing something right.
Looking to get him on the ground here with a runner on first, 1 out. The 2-2. Hit on the ground, but foul behind the plate. Stopped by the on-deck hitter, Jordan Westberg, who reached out his bat to knock it down. First appearance of 2025 for Yariel Rodriguez. Another 2-2. Swing and a deep drive, and Rutschman has done it again. 2 home runs for him, 5 for the Orioles, and they've reached double digits. It's 11-2 for Baltimore.
Well, it almost looked like Adley Rutschman was expecting that 4-seamer right down the middle. Probably not the pitch you want to throw to Adley Rutschman. Thigh high. Man, he's a good player. Last year, I know the second half he wasn't great, but I have a feeling he's going to have a big season.
He's off to a pretty good start today now. 3 for 5 with 2 homers, 3 RBIs, 3 runs scored. And the Blue Jays just trying to get out of this one without having to use any more pitchers. Rodriguez offers to Jordan Westberg, who hits it foul 0-1.
Yeah, the Blue Jays have 7 games in a row to start this season.
And 20 in their first 21 days.
Right. It's a tough stretch.
The 0-1. Fouled right back, 0-2. They'll play 7 in a row, get an off day, and then they're going to have 4 straight series without an off day after that, so 12 in a row.
Get those pipes ready, Ben.
Easier than the arms. Easier than the arms for these guys. 0-2 is hit well left center. Springer sprinting back into the gap, and that ball is gone. Just got out over the high wall in left center. Who's raining down as the Orioles have a dozen. They're up 12-2 on opening day.
Well, I said this earlier in the ball game after the Orioles had hit a few home runs. You have to move feet. If the guys on the other team are getting long and getting comfortable in the batter's box, you have to move feet with a fastball, and I haven't seen that yet from anybody in that bullpen.
First pitch to Ryan O'Hearn, high ball 1.
And what I mean by that is you have to come inside with a fastball and make guys feel uncomfortable. You can't let them get long and get comfy.
1-0. Swing and a high fly ball. Springer started in, now backing up in center. He's got plenty of room, and he'll make the catch. 2 outs. I mean, Blue Jays fans saw maybe one of the best ever at doing that. Roger Clemens would just make you feel like you were in danger pitching inside. I mean, sometimes he'd go too far inside. And you were never settled in the batter's box when he was on the mound.
There's guys, after giving up 1 home run, they get so angry that they just move your feet right away. They don't let you get 5, 6, 7 homers.
First pitch to Tyler O'Neill is low ball 1. 2 outs, bases empty. 12-2 Orioles, top of the 8th.
And I feel like Roger Clemens was one of those guys. As soon as he gives up a homer, he moves your feet, and all of a sudden you're uncomfortable again.
The 1-0. Called strike, 1-1.
And here's a guy that probably wouldn't be uncomfortable if he came inside.
O'Neill, yeah. The 1-1. Outside 2-1. I think when a pitch hits Tyler O'Neill, the baseball gets bruised rather than Tyler O'Neill. He's had a great day so far. The Canadian is 3 for 3 with a 3-run homer and a walk. The 2-1. High 3-1. Rodriguez working from the windup once again. Twists and fires. And hits the zone with a slider to make it a full count. O'Neill asks for time, bounces the barrel off of his lead left foot, steps back into the box. Gray pant legs hiked up, showing his black and orange striped socks. The 3-2. Fouled off over the screen into the seats.
You don't want to miss there again. 94 over the plate. Tyler O'Neill took a big swing on that pitch. Just missed it. Fouled it straight back.
The 3-2 again. High ball 4. O'Neill takes a walk. And restlessness, you can feel it here at Rogers Center. The Blue Jays have won 5 opening days in a row. This one certainly has not gone to plan, trailing 12-2.
Well, a lot like spring training, I think the first game of the season doesn't really paint the whole picture. I think that there are a lot of things that have gone wrong for the Blue Jays in this ball game. They've given up a ton of home runs. They've made some bad pitches. They haven't really swung the bat all that well, but it's an incredibly small sample size, and let's not react too harshly.
It's a fair point. I mean, the Blue Jays won 8-2 on opening day last year and struggled offensively for much of the rest of the season. It was not an indicator of things to come. Pitch here to Ryan Mountcastle is up and in, ball 1. Two outs, O'Neill on first. Top of the 8th inning, 12-2 Orioles. The stretch and the pitch. Swing and a miss. By his standard, a relatively quiet day for Mountcastle against the Blue Jays. 1 for 4 with a double and a run scored. Yariel kicks and delivers. Swing and a miss again. Home run hacks on each of the last 2 pitches from Mountcastle, but he missed both of them, 1 and 2.
I still haven't seen anybody come inside. Yariel really hasn't thrown inside with that fastball once during this inning.
The 1-2. High and outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rodriguez trying to work quickly. Right back on the rubber. Set near his chin with 7 on the clock. 2-2. Missed up and in with a breaking ball that time. Check swing by Mountcastle. Full count.
And this might be it for Yariel. If he doesn't get Mountcastle here, Nick Sandlin might be in this ball game.
35 pitches in the inning for Yariel Rodriguez. Runner will be off on the pitch. The 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. That'll do it for the top of the eighth. The Orioles get 3 runs on a pair of homers. Rutschman and Westberg go back-to-back. At the middle of the eighth inning, it's 12-2 for Baltimore. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network, you're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center.
Here at Home Hardware's Bring Beauty Tone Home Reno Sale, everyone's saving on everything they need to tackle their reno project. Like bringing their living room into this century with 25% off Canadian-made Beauty Tone Pure Interior and Specialty Paint. Or tackling that bathroom reno with up to $200 off Max Shower Units. That's better. Earn and redeem Scene Plus points during the Bring Beauty Tone Home Reno Sale. On now at Home Hardware and Building Centers.
Spring is here. We're all happy to see winter in our rearview mirror. But did you know that spring is a red zone for rust? The combination of leftover winter road salt, increased precipitation, and warmer weather are a perfect recipe for corrosion. Protect your vehicle from rust today by visiting your local Crown Rust Protection Center or book your appointment today at crown.com. For a special spring rust protection offer, visit your local Crown Rust Protection Center.
Sportsnet Plus is the streaming home of the Blue Jays.
Oh, what a catch!
Stream over 150 Blue Jays games all season long.
You won't see this anywhere else.
Including pre- and post-game coverage with Jamie and Joe on Blue Jays Central.
One of the best in the game right here.
Watch all the Blue Jays action wherever you are, at home or on the go.
Don't you love baseball?
Plans start from $24.99 a month.
We are good to go.
Subscribe at sportsnetplus.ca. This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Called strike three, change up at the knees, and there's nothing you can do about that pitch.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Last of the eighth at Rogers Center. Blue Jays trailing the Orioles 12-2. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. New pitcher for Baltimore is the starter converted into a reliever, Keegan Aiken, who had a very nice year last year out of the bullpen. He makes his first appearance of 2025 after a 3.32 ERA in 66 games. He goes left on left with Alan Roden and misses down and away ball one. Defensive substitution for the Orioles. Tyler O'Neill's Orioles debut is done. Heston Kjerstad is on. Next pitch to Roden hits the zone, strike one. O'Neill was not retired once in the 5 plate appearances he had today.
Pretty good day for Tyler O'Neill. His dad's in the stands. His wife's in the stands.
1-1 bounces, 2-1. Alan Roden, 1 for 2 today. Takes a pitch low. 3 balls and 1 strike. Picking up his first major league hit on a chopper up the middle. Aiken's 3-1 is outside ball 4, and Roden's on for a second time. This is what he does. He picks up a leadoff walk.
That was a good take. I mean, that was probably a strike, at least from my point of view from up here, but Roden was such a good eye up there, such a good approach. I can even see him as a leadoff hitter, honestly.
First pitch to Bo Bichette is hit on the ground left side. Urias charging at third, picks it up, throws the second one back to first, and Mountcastle just stayed on the bag for the 5-4-3 double play.
Everything is going right for the Orioles today, and really nothing is going right for the Toronto Blue Jays. Just chalk it up to one of those days and get some sleep, come to the ballpark tomorrow ready to play.
It's the second inning in a row that a leadoff walk has turned into a 5-4-3 double play. On the note of Roden at leadoff, I think it's something that could be realistic, but maybe not something they'd wanted to just throw him into to start his major league career. You bat him 9, and hey, if he impresses, keeps getting on base, you can slide him up. Pitch to Vladimir Guerrero Jr., low ball 1. He's 0 for 2 today with a walk and a run scored.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to do that to a young guy. And looks at the lineup, comes to the field, and probably puts a little bit more pressure on himself than he needs to.
The 1-0. high. 2 balls, no strikes.
But honestly, from what I've seen from Roden, he doesn't seem like the type that would actually do that.
The mentality above anything is something that's been pointed out by coaches, front office members about Alan Roden. 2-0. Called strike 2 and 1. I'd asked Ross Atkins about what they saw in him when they drafted him. Asked him yesterday, and he mentioned, he doesn't like to point out drive sometimes because he thinks all these guys have drive and a great mentality, but Roden's was just a cut above anyone else as the 2-1 misses outside. It's 3 and 1.
I'm all about drive, but to me, it's really what's going on when you're in the batter's box.
The 3-1. Down and in ball 4. Guerrero's on for a second time as he takes a walk. With that, we'll see Anthony Santander spin around and hit right-handed for the first time in this game. A guy who's pretty neutral left to right over his career. The pitch. Swing and a pop-up. Foul territory, first base side. Rutschman, the catcher, back behind the plate, makes the catch and ends the inning. 2 walks, no hits, and no runs for the Blue Jays. They leave one on, and we go to the 9th with the Orioles up 12-2 at Rogers Center. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
You're an entrepreneur. Growth is essential for your business. At BDC, we get that. And we're here to help you stay 2 steps ahead. With our flexible financing and advisory services, we help you adapt, growing your business in the face of today's challenges and tomorrow's opportunities. Stepping up for entrepreneurs. We're on it. BDC, financing, advising, know-how.
Direct! Hi, this is at Greg Carrasco from Direct Nissan, and are you tired of those overpriced vehicles? Well, I have a car here that will make you look infinitely cooler than you actually are. It's a 2025 Nissan Kicks, not Nissan Kicks Play, a Nissan Kicks with $29.95 down for only, listen to this, $8 a day. That's right, $8 a day. There is something happening here at directnissan.ca. Direct!
It's the Reliance Home Comfort Spring Trade-In and Save event. For a limited time, get $1,200 in credit towards a new furnace or air conditioner, your choice. That's right, $1,200 to upgrade to a new energy-efficient furnace or AC when you trade in your old equipment. Any age, any make, any condition. And with over 140,000 five-star reviews, you're not just getting a great deal, you're getting great service. This offer won't last long, so if you're ready to trade in and save, call on Reliance. Conditions apply. See website for details.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Springer charges a ball to left field. It's in the seats, and the Blue Jays are on the board.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Nick Sandlin makes his Blue Jays debut as we return to Rogers Center for the 9th inning on opening day. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue, Show Ali, our host and producer today, Derek Brandeo, Tom Young, Stephen Coyle, Brandon Brown, our technical directors. Sandlin, the side armor, deals to Cedric Mullins, and the first pitch is waved at and missed, strike 1. See a fastball, a slider, and a splitter from Nick Sandlin. He's particularly tough on left-handed hitters like Cedric Mullins. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Goes anti-scouting report with back-to-back sliders, and he's ahead 0-2. Usually see him use the split to lefties.
I don't know if I've ever heard that before. Anti-scouting report.
I like it. They're up there thinking splitter, 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 so he flips across 2 sliders. His 0-2. Swing and a deep drive foul. Still 0-2.
Sandlin got away with one there. Another slider, but a little spinner over the middle of the plate, and Cedric Mullins was just out in front of it. Mullins had a good day today. 3 for 4 so far in this ball game. He's seeing the ball well.
0-2. Down and in. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I like what they were trying to do there. Alejandro Kirk was set up and in. Sandlin missed his spot, but I like that.
Now the 1-2. Misses outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Big year for Cedric Mullins. You're talking about his day. It's his contract year. He is the longest tenured Oriole. 2-2. Another one hammered foul. And he's really one of the last marks of the rebuilding Orioles. He and Ryan Mountcastle had played for them, but Mountcastle came up a couple years after Mullins. With Austin Hayes no longer an Oriole and Anthony Santander no longer an Oriole. 2-2 is hit on the ground to first. Vladdy backhands the sharp grounder, flips back to Sandlin. Nice play for the first out. And Mullins is really the only reminder of the late 2010s Orioles, a team that he had to suffer with for a while before breaking through in the early 2020s.
Yeah, he's been there since 2018. I mean, you use the word suffer. That is probably the best word you could use. The Orioles weren't good for a few years there when Cedric Mullins was a stud.
1 out and Ramon Urias up to the plate. Top of the 9th, 12-2 Orioles. The pitch. Swing and a high fly ball. Shallow right field. Rodin jogging forward. Still coming in. Makes the catch. 2 outs. It's pretty cool. There's an article written specifically about that, Mullins being kind of the last connection, and he had such a bond with Santander and Hayes, who would all three play in the outfield together, and all three had time with those tough Orioles teams. And Mullins recalled Santander saying to him and Hayes in Double-A, years before they made the majors, quote, "We are the future of this team." And they were the backbone of the team that broke through. Pitch to Jackson Holliday, fouled back 0-1. While the big prospects are obviously what have grabbed attention, those three guys were such staples for the Orioles and consistent players over the last couple of years. Hayes now a Red, Santander a Blue Jay, Mullins in the Orioles dugout. 0-1. Holliday takes it for a strike, 0-2.
And it wasn't the lineup that was awful. It was really the pitching that didn't really help them out much.
The 0-2. Hit in the air down the left field line. That's going to go foul into the seats. Of course, they moved that wall back in left field in an effort to entice pitchers a little bit more to go to Baltimore. They've actually hedged on that and moved it probably about halfway back in for this year. With questions about their pitching, it'll be interesting to see how that ballpark plays now. 0-2 again, high and outside.
One reason why a free agent might not want to go there is it is really muggy there in the summertime. If you've never been to Baltimore, it's tough. It's tough to play outside there.
It's hot and it's as humid as anywhere. The 1-2. Outside again, 2-2. Blue Jays were there around the deadline last year. Joe Siddle and I were there for Sportsnet Television. It was easy 105 Fahrenheit and mid to high 70s humidity. You could barely breathe on the field. 2-2. Swing and a deep fly ball right field. Rodin curling back on the warning track, makes the catch and ends the inning. 1-2-3 for Sandlin. The Blue Jays need 10 to tie as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Toronto trailing 12-2. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center.
Enter Night Mode.
It's a stylish Friday night in the city.
Every Friday home game.
No doubter.
Where we celebrate everything that makes our city one of a kind.
Anything to count.
Would you always feel like part of the show? On Friday, April 18th, be at the ballpark early and get your Blue Jays City Connect Bomber Jacket giveaway presented by Enercare. The first 50,000 fans will be geared up for spring nights in the city. City Connect Fridays. Night Mode. Lights up. Let's go. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
Timber Mart, locally owned, proudly Canadian. Your home team advantage with the right materials and the right price. Project know-how that's brought together a wealth of plans and solid advice. Trust your team at your locally owned Timber Mart. Timber Mart always has plans to help you with your plans. Your home, your cottage, your garage, whatever needs your attention first, check the most visited spot on our website for ready-to-order plans to get the job done with Canada's Building Centre. Visit timbermart.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Next pitch, Moniak takes off. It's low a ball, throw down to second. They got him!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to Blue Jays baseball. Show Ali with you. The Blue Jays trailing the O's 12-2 as we head to the bottom of the ninth inning at the Rogers Center. Don't forget, we do have Jays Talk tonight. Blair and Barker have the post-game show. They will take your calls this evening. They are down at the Dome. Jeff will throw out the numbers for you to call after the final out. Blue Jays baseball, as always, brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. The Blue Jays are trailing 12-2 in the bottom of the ninth. Down at the Dome, here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you, show. A pitching change and a defensive change for the Orioles. Jorge Mateo makes his season debut, moving to shortstop. Jackson Holliday will slide from short to second. And the new pitcher for the Orioles is Brian Baker, who battled in camp and won one of the final spots in the Orioles pen. He's looking to bounce back after having a 5 ERA in 19 games in the majors last year. He deals to Andres Jimenez, leadoff hitter this inning for the Blue Jays, and misses upstairs, ball one. Stick around after the final out. Blair and Barker are set up here at Rogers Center, ready to go. Next pitch. 96 on the outside corner, strike one.
Well, we saw Baker in spring training, and he really impressed me. A big fastball up to 100 miles an hour, and he's really not afraid to come inside, something we haven't seen really from any pitchers today.
Drops an off-speed pitch on the middle of the plate for strike two.
And on top of that, he's a big dude, 6'6", 235 pounds coming at you.
Debuted as a Blue Jay, has a bit of a checkered past with the Blue Jays in terms of his tenure with the Orioles, although that's a couple years old at this point. The 1-2. Swing and a fly ball foul off to the left. It stays 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Good job by Jimenez fouling that baseball off 98 miles an hour above the strike zone.
One-two again. Fouled off of Adley Rutschman. Well, a lot has happened on the field today, Chris. The most important thing is you, a non-pretzel guy, got converted to the 1-pound pretzel by the spicy mustard.
But that's the thing for me. I like spicy mustard on anything.
Still works. 1-2. Hit back foul off the top of the netting and down into the seats.
And we discussed this off air, but you mentioned that the pretzel really is just the vessel for the spicy mustard. I can stick my finger in the spicy mustard and still enjoy it. Doesn't matter. The pretzel
doesn't. It's not very sanitary.
Whatever.
1-2 pitch. Swing and a looper out to shallow center. Mateo racing back, and he'll make the catch for the first out.
It's a tough pitch from Baker. 85 mile an hour with the changeup. He comes at you with the fastball 97, 99, then drops that changeup at 85. 13 miles an hour difference is a huge, huge difference.
So 1 out in the bottom of the ninth, 12-2 for the Orioles. And we mentioned Blue Jays talk coming up. You might need to get in line for your call. First pitch to Alejandro Kirk. Called strike 0-1. 416-870-0590. Calling locally, star 590 on your cell. Long distance, 1-888-666-0590 and 590-590 to text. 0-1 is high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Standard message and data rates may apply.
I think Barker's actually stretching for this post-game show right now. He's getting loose. Yeah.
He's feeling frisky to steal some words from him. 1-1 swing and a miss. 97 powered it past Kirk. 1-2. Kirk asks for time, adjusts the batting gloves. He's 0 for 3 today. 3 ground balls. The 1-2 pitch. Down and away, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Boy, that's a tough pitch. Right on right, coming at you with the changeup. It's a good take from Alejandro Kirk, though.
Baker winds and delivers. Kirk smacks it down the right field line, slicing to the corner. It's down in fair territory and bouncing up against the wall. Kirk making the turn, headed to second. Throw from right field. He's in time to get him. Kierstad cuts him down, throws him out. Mateo with the tag. And the Blue Jays are looking at it, but Kirk is jogging off the field right now, which would indicate maybe he doesn't think that he made it. So it'll be a single. Kirk called out, trying to advance to second base, and there are 2 down.
Well, that was a perfect storm for Alejandro Kirk there. He hit the ball extremely hard down the right field line. Kierstead got the ball off the fence really, really quickly and then made a perfect throw into second base.
I think he might have came off the bag, too.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that the throw actually beat him. I think he overslid the bag.
It was still a good throw, though.
It was a good throw. Don't get me wrong. So 2 outs in the first pitch to Springer, misses, ball 1. Orioles an out away from their first win of the year. Blue Jays the opposite. Next pitch called strike, 1-1. Baker with a breath, the wind, and the 1-1. Springer fouls it off, and the Orioles a strike away as Springer's down to a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Twelve to 2, the Orioles lead. It's been lopsided a while. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's the ball game. The Orioles come to Toronto and win the season opener. 12-2 is the final score.
Well, not a whole lot of things went right for the Toronto Blue Jays today. They didn't really swing the bat all that well, and I think that the pitching staff came in to today's game and wasn't really sure, wasn't really sharp. A lot of fastballs over the middle of the plate. And you have to give credit to the Baltimore Orioles. They hit the baseball really well. When the Blue Jays made a mistake, they were right on top of it. I give credit to them.
Orioles win 12-2. We'll take a quick step aside, wrap it up on the other side, and then get you over to Blue Jays Talk with Blair and Barker. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Timber Mart always has plans to help you with your plans. Your home, your cottage, your garage, whatever needs your attention first, check the most visited spot on our website for ready-to-order plans to get the job done with Canada's Building Center. Visit timbermart.ca.
Toronto has a pulse, a vibe all its own. And on Friday nights, we turn it up. Enter night mode with us. Experience the energy, strength, and culture of our city. On Friday, March 28th, join us for the first City Connect Friday. The first 15,000 fans in attendance will get a Bo Bichette Laird City Connect replica jersey. City Connect Fridays, night mode. Lights up, let's go. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
Timber Mart is Canada's building center. Your home team advantage with the right materials and the right price. Project know-how that's brought together a wealth of plans and solid advice. Trust your team at your locally owned Timber Mart. Find your location at timbermart.ca.
But you got no confidence, baby.
Hi, this is Will Wagner, and you're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Work too hard, can you pay me?
Welcome back to Rogers Center. Blue Jays fall today 12-2 to the Baltimore Orioles in the season opener. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. And Chris, we talked about it a little bit after the last out, but really not much went right for the Blue Jays. And it begins when you look at the disparity and how the starting pitchers fared today. Zach Eflin went 6 innings, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Jose Barrios, 5 innings, 9 hits, 6 earned runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. It was a big deficit early on.
Yeah, and I think that we spoke about it at length really early on, that there was something off with Jose Barrios. The velocity was there. We saw a couple 97s from him with the fastball, but there was something off with the command of that fastball. And for Jose Barrios to be good, he needs to really have a ton of command with that sinker. With that being said, I really didn't see any fastballs move feet today. I talked about it during the broadcast. When opposing teams start to get long and they start to get comfortable and they start to hit home runs, you have to come inside with a fastball. You have to move feet. You have to make them feel uncomfortable. And the Blue Jays pitching staff just did not do that today.
Blue Jays gave up more runs from the bullpen, as well as 6 more were tacked on with a couple of home runs. The Orioles left the yard 6 different times today, including 2 from Mullins, 2 from Rutschman. Rutschman and Westberg went back-to-back in the 8th inning. And if we didn't know already, we know now the Orioles are going to be a big force offensively this year.
Yeah, they're a good team. I mean, even without Gunnar Henderson, even without Anthony Santander, Tyler O'Neill slides into that spot perfectly. He's a great hitter, especially if he stays healthy. He might even be better than what he's shown in the big leagues. But this Baltimore Orioles team, offensively at least, is a very strong team. Pitching staff is questionable, but I think that they're gonna do damage in the AL East and whoever they play against, because the lineup is just so strong.
Orioles win this one 12-2. 12 runs on 14 hits, no errors, 6 left. The Blue Jays 2 runs on 4 hits, no errors, 4 left. One of those 4 hits, the 50th career home run of Andres Jimenez, and one of them the first career hit for Alan Rodin. Zach Eflin with the win, 1-0. Jose Barrios with the loss, 0-1. No save today on a 2-hour, 49-minute affair that started at 3:39 in front of nearly 41,000. The Blue Jays fall to 0-1. The Orioles are now 1-0, but Toronto will try and even those records tomorrow when they face off at 7:07 at Rogers Center. Talk about experience. It's Charlie Morton against Kevin Gausman coming up in Game 2 of the season. Should be a fun one. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and appreciate you spending your opening day 2025 with us. For Tom Young, Stephen Coyle, Derek Brandeo, Brandon Brown, Show Ali, and Chris LaRue, I'm Ben Schulman. Stay with us because it's time for the season opener for Blue Jays Talk with Jeff Blair and Kevin Barker. It starts right now.
Well, I don't know, Kevin Barker. It says that it's opening day, but I swear to God, it feels like that was game 163 of the 2024 season.
I didn't feel that way. It's only game 1, buddy. Buckle up.
Buckle up.
Buckle up.
Buckle up.
Yeah. One way or the other. Buckle up.
12-2, the ball.